everybody. Hey, I just got you the end of your sentence that you were saying.
I turned everything off, so we should be good.
Yeah, there's a kind of a storm outside. It's kind of rumbling and stuff. Like I said, Florida happens every day in the summer.
And if the stream goes out because that damn lightning.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
I mean, maybe it'll be okay. It was doing that all last night too, and I don't think we lost power last night though. Because we were doing, it was, you know, I was watching fucking Gordon last night, and it was storming the whole time. Thank you, Jeffy Art. Thank you.
Jeffy Art hooking us up with $5. Thank you very much.
Flash bulbs right from the start.
Thank you for them flash bulbs. That's right.
Thank you very much.
Trying to wake me up. I was gonna go to the Oasis, but I said fuck it. Yeah, I said fuck it. I decided not to go.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that. I was working on some shit in here, and then it was like 4:45, and I'm like, are you going to go or what? And then like I started hearing thunder.
Yeah,
and I was like,
well,
probably a good thing you didn't go then.
Yeah, it got down to around, if I was going to go, it'd be around 4:30, and I could hear thunder by that time. And I was like, nah, I'm not going.
Yeah, because you don't want to go too early, because then you'd be down there for like 4 or 5 hours, and you'd be completely hammered when you got back.
Yeah, trying to ride back in the rain.
Yeah, and even if you were on the show, you'd be flailing around all crazy and shit.
Yeah. And a wipe out on the way back.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You'd be all busted up.
Yeah.
And then Pookie wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah, Pookie's like, I remember this happened last time. No, actually, she didn't witness the last time I got busted up.
No, that was before she was born.
Yeah.
That was before she was born.
Yeah.
She's only 5.
5? Okay.
She just turned 5 this summer.
Yeah.
We got her in 2017, and I think she was only.
What did she do?
She was only a few weeks old when we got her. Her eyes were open, but she was really little.
Look at her.
Her eyes were still blue, though.
She's trying to figure out what she's going to do
What
next.
she's doing.
She's trying to figure out what she's going to do next.
You can't.
Look at the back legs. Her fear.
She's like.
Yeah, looking down at the ground, looking around like she's going to do. Okay.
She's like, I can't decide on some shit. I can't decide.
Today is Friday. Weekend's coming. And you guys are sitting here drinking with us.
Yay.
Warming up for the weekend. We're not going to go out this weekend. We're just going to sit here and talk shit for a couple hours and drink.
We broke. Plus, I have like a lot of work to do. I got a big job today. I got to do a whole 27 slide PowerPoint presentation.
Oh shit!
So
hey, it's money.
I got to do that tomorrow, and I got to do a book review video tomorrow too. But the book that I chose was like a novella, so I can probably read that in an hour or two. I have to switch it out with. See, that's how I do. It's like if I do stuff ahead of time. The Scare Salon video I'm putting up tomorrow. If you guys, there was a show in the 1960s. It was called Thriller that Boris Karloff hosted, and I've been wanting to watch all of that. And I thought, oh, I'll do like each season as one video, and then I found out that season 1 had like fucking 35 episodes, and they're all like an hour long. And I'm like, yeah, okay, that's not gonna happen. But I did. But I did do a video of the first 6 episodes. I did actually watch the first 6 episodes, and I talked about those. So that's going to go up tomorrow. Thank you, Guamo. TGIF, yeah.
Yep.
I'm just glad. Like I said, I enjoy doing these shows. Because for me, like, I guess the way that it's kind of shaken out, like the way that I do the videos and stuff like that, it seems like the beginning of the week, like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, is like really, really like packed with stuff, like, you know what I mean? Like, I gotta do this video and that video and that, and I gotta do research for that, and we do all these movie reviews and stuff. But then, like, usually by the time Thursday, Friday roll around, mostly I've got all the stuff for the week done, so it's like, you know, it's a lot less stressful. Yeah. So I do actually really like doing these because
they're relaxing.
Yeah, they're just relaxing. I
wish
can hang out and have a drink and blah blah blah.
One of the ideas that I had, I wish we could do it. It doesn't work out. We tried. Is to have a soundtrack going in the back, like some fucking relaxing vaporwave or something. But the problem is that a lot of it's copyrighted, so you get copyright strikes. You can't really trust it. And
yeah, I mean, even if you go on, I mean, you can go on Pixabay, and they have ostensibly like a whole bunch of music and stuff on there that you can use for free. But like I said, I wouldn't risk it because, you know, that could be copyrighted, that somebody just like downloaded and then uploaded on that site. It's like, yeah, totally use it, and then the person that actually wrote it is like, no.
But it's always good. It's always kind of good. I've seen some streams that had like mood music going in the background, which is kind of good. But you can only do that if you don't have a specific topic. So it'd be good for a show like this, but we haven't been able to figure anything out.
I mean, I could do it. I could just it'd be easy to like load it into OBS. I can do that.
Yeah, and then in the background, just have it running kind of low. That way, you know, they're at their place fucking chilling and drinking, and you have like a little bit of a background music for it.
Yeah.
I always thought it would be good. I mean, look into it. Maybe there's some music that's approved by Google, you know, because remember they were using that shit for the fucking Dead Mall videos. Shit that came off of Google.
Well,
just
like I said, one of the sites that I use, which is Pixabay, they have like video clips and music and sound effects and stuff like that that you're ostensibly allowed to use without, without any copyright or without even attributing anything.
Yeah, just some music in the background for all I care. I don't get
It's just there's a lot of it on there, so you have to really kind of like dig through the shit. They have it like they have it categorized by mood.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, do you want something like cute and fun, or do you want something kind of like dark and chill, or do you want something, you know what I mean? It's kind of like that.
I made carnitas last night. Man, those fuckers are good.
That came out really good.
Yeah, I'm Mexican now.
You're Mexican now.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Carnavatzlan said I was Mexican. He gave me a badge and everything.
An actual Mexican said you were Mexican.
Yeah, he said I'm Mexican. He saw me make those fucking corn tortillas. I got the tortilla press and everything, making them out of maseca. And he's like, you got to get the blue maseca too. He says that's good too. But I showed him when I was making them tortillas. He goes, oh, you make tortillas now? You're Mexican. And I said, I guess I am. Guess I am Mexican. Well, he shared with me this channel. It's on YouTube. I'm gonna plug it. It's called Cooking con Claudia. Okay. It's this little cute little Mexican chick who's a fucking great cook, and she'll sit there and she'll give you all her recipes. And I was using her recipes for carnitas, and I did it the same way. Carnitas in an instant pot. You use like an instant pot. You take something like a big piece of pork. I use pork butt, and you slice.
I like how you said that, pork butt.
Yeah, pork butt. Slice it.
Emphasis.
Into big chunks. And you put it back. You put it on saute. Put some oil in the bottom of it, and you sear the outside of all those pieces. And you're transferring them in and out of there, and putting them in a big old mixing bowl to cool a little bit, because you can't fit them all in there at once. And sear the outside of it. Once it's seared, put it all in there. Used a blend of. Well, it was garlic, fresh garlic. Rosemary, thyme, bay leaves. I ground that up in it. Cilantro, and what was the other one? I don't think it was oregano. I forgot what the other one was. And then a little bit of lime juice, and then orange juice, and you blend that up. You put that in there with the meat, and then you put the equivalent of a whole bottle of Coca-Cola in it, and pressure cook it 45 minutes and let it sit in there. And then when it comes out, take it all out of this. The drippings are fucking great. All right, take all those pieces of meat out of the drippings, put them in a cast iron skillet, and put it in a broiler. And broil each side, turning it so it's nice and crisp on the outside, kind of candified, or you candified the outside of it. You'll see it caramelized. I'm talking about. Kind of caramelize it on the outside of it, and you'll have big old blocks of meat that'll just tender, it'll just come apart, and they're seared on the outside and browned, so they have crispy edges on them. You have that, and it opens up and it just steams in there. And then you'll also have the pot of those drippings. And what you're doing is you're taking it toward, take a little bit of those drippings and put it on your griddle, because you want a big cast iron griddle. Put it on there because it'll have oil in it. Let it burn off a little bit. Throw those tortillas on there and let them kind of steam, and flip them over to the other side. Put cheese, put the meat on it, and then you can take another ladle and put some more of that liquid on there, and it'll steam. It'll be crispy in some areas, and like gravy in the other areas. And you just top it. It's just meat and cheese, and then fresh vegetables if you want, like some onions or tomatoes or whatever. And then you kind of sauce you want on their salsa. They're good. They're fucking fantastic. Ate them today and yesterday. But
yeah, they came out really, really good.
But you can go on Cooking con Claudia on YouTube and go check out her Instant Pot Carnitas. And that's the meat you use for tacos. And it's not hot or spicy or anything. It's just salgado. It's just savory.
That's why I liked it like that, because you could actually like taste like it was spiced, but you could taste the meat more than. I mean, and I'm not saying that I don't like spicy meat sometimes, but
yeah, it's just a different way.
Yeah, it's like it doesn't have cayenne or chili powder or anything like that.
You could add that onto the taco.
You can if you want,
but it's just good meat.
I just liked it because it just tasted like real savory meat, like you said.
Yeah, and you can use that meat for anything.
That's another thing too.
You can make a sandwich with that. You can make a burrito with that.
Yeah. So we just had like little. Yeah. So where was it? It said, like real Mexican tacos are small. Yeah, that's how you make. Yeah, you make them like that.
Yeah.
That's what I had for lunch, like just two small ones with a little bit of meat, a little bit of cheese, a couple of tomatoes.
Put a couple little cherry tomatoes in there.
Little cherry tomatoes.
Yeah.
And was there any guac?
I had avocado salsa.
On there? Avocado. That's right.
It was avocado salsa.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
I think it was Ortega brand. I don't remember what it is. It's a Mexican brand.
Yeah, they were. John Smith said I went to Taco Bell once. I'm now a Mexican too. Yeah.
You
They're asking if we've seen Nope yet. I still haven't. It's like I really, really want to see it. Everybody's saying it's. Somebody said it's like Tremors in the best possible way. Which that sounds
it's
really good.
pouring out there.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Okay.
It's not. I don't see any lightning. It's just raining really hard.
What happened?
I know it probably will. But no, it's just, it reminded me when you were talking about the thing. I've been watching, because you guys know I love Gordon Ramsay, right? So, and he has a million shows, and I don't really know how he has time to do them all, but whatever. So he has the new season of MasterChef, which I think is season 12, I want to say. It's called Back to Win. And they had like some of the people that lost, like from some of the other seasons, like they asked them all back and they're like recompeting. So I've been watching that. I guess it's still airing because I watch it on Hulu, but you can't actually watch the new episodes until like Wednesday at like 3 in the morning or something, because it's like a few hours after it actually airs. So they put like 2 new episodes up a week at like 3 in the morning. And the one of the ones that I watched last night, and this fascinated me, and I kind of wanted to know like what you would have done in this situation, was that, you know how they have a challenge on each show? And the challenge that they had was they had to take gas station snacks, like just snacks you could get in a gas station, and they had to use at least 3 of them. They could use whatever else they wanted too, but they had to use at least 3 of them, and you had to make like a gourmet dish, right? And so Gordon did one first, and he had he had like snapper or something like that, and he like coated it in like crunched up like pretzels and potato chips and shit like that. And then like, I can't even remember what else he did. And it looked really good and all that. But one guy made, he made some kind of fish or chicken or something like that was crusted too. But then he made this sauce to go with it. And he legit melted gummy bears and mixed it with beer and made a sauce out of that. And, like, I'm watching him make it going, that is going to be the most disgusting thing ever. And, like, even all the cooks were just kind of like, yeah, no, that's not going to work out. And then, like, when they tried the dish, they picked his as the best one. That was like, that is weirdly delicious. And I'm like, I just can't see how that could have worked out.
I didn't see what he did.
I don't know what kind of beer it was. I guess they had, like, you could use beer and soda and stuff like that. Because some people actually did use soda, like you said, like, for the application of, you know, using, like, for the meat and everything. But I kind of feel like I was kind of disappointed. I wanted to see a little bit more creativity. Like, the weirdest thing was the gummy bear and beer sauce. Most people just kind of copied what Gordon did. And they're like, oh, I'm just going to crunch up, like, some pretzels and potato chips and, like, coat some meat in that. I'm like, well, obviously that's going to be okay, because that's something that people do anyways.
When I did those carnitas, I didn't have Coca-Cola, so you know what I used? Publix Diet Root Beer.
Diet Root Beer.
Because I knew the damn pressure cooker just basically destroys everything anyway. It's just for the carbonation. The carbonated water in the pressure cooker. And it does have a little bit of caramel coloring and a little bit of sweetener, even though it wasn't sugar, saccharin, but it worked. But it's all just broken down in the damn pressure cooker anyway. It's just to soften the meat, help soften the meat, tenderize it.
I know, it's like I feel like people aren't as weirded out by it nowadays, because a lot of people use Coca-Cola like in their pressure cooker like to make meat with. But I'd like, even back in the 70s and 80s, I feel like we made cakes and stuff with soda, like 7-Up, and stuff like that. So it's not that weird.
Yeah, the flavor of it doesn't really matter. Any of them would work. I think it's mostly just the carbonated water.
The carbonated water, and I think maybe a little bit the sugar. I'm not really sure. But,
yeah, depends on what your spice profile is. You're probably not going to taste that anyway.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because it's all just destroyed in the fucking pressure cooking process. The molecules are breaking down,
Camp Guy says Bowen got sent home last night. Yeah, spoiler alert.
Who's Bowen?
Bowen. They on MasterChef.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like he seemed like a nice dude and everything, and I admire that that he kind of went out there with the stuff, but they said it tasted like really bizarre and it wasn't really any good. And then I think like one of the other chicks that got sent home, she tried to make something with like Fruity Pebbles or something like that. Like I don't think they said Fruity Pebbles because maybe they can't use that for copyright, but they said like fruit cereal, and she like made some kind of sauce with it, and they said that was like the weirdest shit ever. So yeah. But I liked that challenge because I'm always really into seeing like the creative ways that people come up with to use it. So I was kind of disappointed, like I said, that everybody just did kind of boring shit with it, other than the gummy bear and beer thing, which I totally didn't think was going to work, but it totally did apparently. But just goes to show, I guess, that guy is like, he knows what he's doing. Yeah, Gramthars said beer and gummy bear reduction. That's what I said. And even they said, and I'm not even like a cook or anything like that, but even like Gordon and Joe and that other guy on there, they're just kind of like, no, that sounds like totally gross. But when they ate it, they're like, oh my God, that's amazing. How the fuck did that work? John Smith said, I recently bought an air fryer. I feel like I've joined a cult.
Yeah.
I feel like the Instant
You
Pot...
got the big one or the little
Instant Pot is kind of like that, too. Like, because everybody was getting Instant Pot, and then, like, everybody's getting an air fryer. But the reason that everybody's getting them, yeah, it's trendy and stuff like that, but they're really good, and they work really good.
And they're efficient.
That's what I mean. And especially, like, the Instant Pot and stuff like that. Like, you can cook, like, a lot of shit in there, and it's, like, really, really easy. So I can see why everybody
There's good
gets
recipes
them.
for it.
Right.
And it's just an easy-to-use pressure cooker. You feel more safe about it because it's computer monitored. So if there's any kind of problem, it'll shut itself off. So you're not really afraid of blowing yourself up. I was really slightly afraid of pressure cookers.
I was too, back in the 70s.
There's a possibility something could go wrong and the fucker goes off like a bomb.
I mean people
literally
made bombs out of those for a reason.
Yeah, and if the pressure can't be released, it'll eventually just blow up like a bomb.
Yep.
Literally. I mean, you could just blow the side of a house out.
You can make a bomb with it.
Yeah.
The old ones. Because they didn't really have a fail-safe. Like nowadays, like you said, everything's computerized, so there's a lot of things like to prevent that from happening.
Yeah,
so,
it turns the fucking heat off.
So it turns everything off.
Or it starts fucking releasing pressure somehow. There's ways where it can release pressure.
Right.
And I think there's pressure release stuff where if pressure gets real high, it'll mechanically blow a piece of it out there, so it'll just go, and keep from blowing up like a damn bomb.
Yeah.
But
yeah, I was always really nervous when my grandmother was using the pressure cooker back in the old days.
The air fryer that we got from Sam's, and it was only $100, and it's a Power XL, and it's the size of a microwave oven, and it's got a small microwave oven. It's got racks in there, and you can change all the different racks and baskets, and it's the grill function. It came with a damn non-stick grill plate. You can put it on the bottom. You can change that grill function. Is fantastic. You could put 4 large frozen hamburger patties on there. Turn it up to grill. Fucking put it up at fucking 400, 425, and you only have to flip them once, and they come out perfect.
Yeah.
And
it's amazing.
Yeah, I've air fried chicken in there.
That is also good.
Yeah, you gotta know how to do it though.
He makes pizza in there.
Yeah, it makes real good pizza.
And it's better than having to like sit around with the oven up at 525 for hours and hours, especially in the summertime because it makes the whole house hot. Yeah.
What you do is you make the pizza in the wire baskets. You make your dough, lay it out, pick it up, throw it in a wire basket, shape it to that square. Put all the toppings in there, and you put it in there full blast on pizza setting. It only takes 12 minutes. When it comes out, that crust is fucking perfect.
It's absolutely perfect. Yep.
Perfect, yeah. And
even if it's new dough.
Yeah, doesn't even have.
I've noticed that you don't even really have to age it.
Yeah, and it's best with bread flour. But I am working with some of the recipes that involve all-purpose flour, which is not quite as good. It's never as good, but even some of the all-purpose flour recipes are coming close to kind of the dough you'd get at, say, like Pizza Hut, kind of like that, but which is okay. you're not spending much on that pizza. It doesn't cost much to make. So
That pizza, that little pizza you made for me though, did you make that in the air fryer? The one that was on the naan?
No, that was air fryer, but on naan.
That's what I just said.
Yeah,
I said,
naan.
did you make it in the air fryer?
Yeah.
Yeah, he made it like he just had a piece of naan, and you didn't put sauce on it because, like I said, I like pizza sauce, but it gives me heartburn a lot.
Yes, I did.
So,
it was just.
So he just did cheese, eggplant, a little pesto, cheese, eggplant, mushrooms, and tomatoes, and that shit was delicious.
Yeah. Thin sliced eggplant came out of the garden. It's good on pizza.
It was.
I wasn't sure.
It was really good.
It was all right. I put it on the pizza. I put 2 of them in there at once. They weren't even on the pizza settings. I had 2 of them in there at once. Put them in there for about 12 minutes, full blast heat. And they were probably done in more like 10 minutes. I was watching them, but it's just a piece of naan, naan bread, Indian naan bread. It worked fine.
Yeah, that makes good like quick pizza crust if you're too lazy to make dough.
A lot better than frozen pizza. A lot better.
It is, yeah.
You know what else works is a damn flour tortilla.
Yeah, that works too.
That works too.
I mean, if you like thin crust, we've done that before too.
Yeah.
Slasher Fred said, "Do you guys remember those old Domino's pizza commercials with the Noid?" Yeah, I remember those. Actually, where I used to work like for this weekly like penny saver type newspaper. And for whatever reason, somebody had like a big sticker of the Noid like in the dumbwaiter. So like every time you opened it, there was like the Noid would be kept. I don't know why. And that was like many years after like the Noid had been a thing. So I think I was probably the only person that remembered what that was.
What's up, Whitney?
Yeah, tombstones are the shiz. Yeah, I haven't had frozen pizzas in a long time. I used to get them sometimes, like when I didn't get them usually. Like when I lived alone, I didn't buy them because they were too big. Like I couldn't eat the whole thing, so I didn't like bother with it. But a long time ago, like when I was married, we used to get them every now and then. I don't like Tombstone are good. I used to like DiGiorno, to be honest. I like that kind. I liked the DiGiorno like rising crust.
Yeah.
I thought those were pretty good, but it's been like a while since I've had one.
It's all good for people that don't know how to deal with dough. You know, when you
or lazy.
Yeah, or if it's just fast. You know what I mean? But
because I was like I was working all the time, so I didn't really have time to do all that.
Yeah, you want to have a pizza stone for your oven, and you have to fucking have an oven that can get up to get to at least 500 degrees. You got to heat that stone up for an hour before you put it on there. The DiGiorno pizza on there is okay, but if you're gonna go through all that problem, just learn how to make your own dough. Get you a pizza peel and some cornmeal, and learn how to fucking get a pizza on and off of a peel, and get it onto that stone. It's hard to go wrong, especially if you can get high gluten bread flour. Man, that shit's good. It makes a perfect fucking dough, perfect crust, and especially if you age it over time, like a day or two. Anyway, I'm gonna get off the pizza thing. I'm gonna get fat just talking about it.
No, you
on
won't.
On a diet.
On a diet, so we can't. Although we probably should eat after the show because I'll probably be hungry by then.
Yeah,
but
I got stuff we can eat.
I think all I've had today was those 2 little bitty tacos.
Yeah.
This morning I had 1 packet of oatmeal and a cup of coffee. So that's it. And I can, so maybe I can have a little bit of something later.
Yeah, we can do it. Okay, I have, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to plug my new channel. I got a channel on Twitch. If you don't have Twitch, you can get the Twitch app. And my name on there is Tom 13 o'clock, all lowercase. There's no apostrophe. Tom 13 o'clock, and you can follow there. And I will be playing video games and talking to the crowd.
Did you stream today?
Didn't stream today.
Yeah, I was gonna say I didn't hear you.
Didn't stream today. I might stream tomorrow. But I can, I'll have my tablet next to me, so whatever you guys say, I can answer. And I'll be probably playing Tomb Raider Legend, which is back when Lara Croft was pretty.
I don't know what she is. It's a video game character.
Yeah, she looked like a little supermodel running around.
What does it matter what she looked like?
Yeah.
Sorry, I saw something up here that I wanted to say. Oh, Camp Guy saying, baked pineapple, 1 can pineapple chunks, half a cup all-purpose flour, 1 cup sugar mix in baking dish, Top with 1 sleeve crushed Ritz crackers. Mixed with 1 stick melted butter. Bake 35 minutes at 350. I kind of feel like
that's cobbler.
That sounds a little bit too like, remember how they always would make mock apple pie?
Yeah.
Like you make it with Ritz crackers and like a couple of other things like cream of tartar and something like that, and it tastes legit just like an apple pie even though there's no apples in it.
I haven't had it.
It's crazy. I mean, it's the weirdest like alchemy that you've ever. It's super weird, seriously. If you ever, and it's all over the internet. Just say put mock apple pie. There's no apples in it, but it tastes like there is, and I don't know how it works because none of the ingredients would suggest
that would be really bad for you.
That it would taste like apple. Well, no, it was just the recipe came from.
The 30s,
I think it was from like the Depression when people couldn't get fresh fruit.
Yeah.
And so they just made it with Ritz crackers, and for some reason it tasted just like fucking apples, and I don't really know how it works, but okay.
Yeah, I don't recommend it, people. Very high in carbohydrate. If you make it, fucking just make it as a gag, that'd be very bad for you. Might as well just sit around and eat a box of Ritz crackers, which
but you're not watching it. You're not eating it every day, though. Right. I mean, you could just like make it for a treat.
Nutrition in that.
That's what I mean, though. Yeah. But like I said, you can't worry about like every single thing you eat. It's just like
I do.
Well, yeah, but you're no fun though.
Yeah. I sit there and try to calculate, is that worth eating?
But you're no fun though.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's the thing. It's like every now and then.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to just like have a treat without worrying about it. You know what I mean?
Kinda.
That's what I'm saying.
Not really.
Well, that's you though. Nobody else is like you. So. John Smith said, some years ago, I worked at a hipster as fuck pizza stall at various festivals. A surprising hit was strawberry pizza. Now...
he's talking about with the strawberry...
okay, now, is this a savory pizza, or is it like a dessert pizza?
It's a dessert pizza is what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
Well, I can see how that... CC's.
I can see how that would work.
It's just pie filling.
That's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, that would be good because it just was chased like a strawberry pie.
Yeah, or a blueberry pie, or they had or apple pie.
I mean, it's just crust.
It's just on a crust, and then they had like this weird crumble that would it was kind of a. What I think it was coffee creamer poured on top of it, and then you bake it, and it kind of melts together to make
probably
a creamy, crunchy crust on top of it. It's probably coffee creamer and water or something, or maybe it's just coffee creamer sprinkled on it and baked. That'd probably do it.
I mean, I can see it.
And it's not bad.
It would probably taste like a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, like a Pop-Tart or pie.
Yeah.
Pop-Tart.
And I love strawberry Pop-Tarts.
Yeah.
So, I can't see how that would be bad. That'd probably be like a fresh strawberry Pop-Tart.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it tasted like.
Every now and then, it's really funny. Every now and then, I get a craving for a strawberry Pop-Tart, right?
I got some.
I know you do.
Yeah, I got blueberry too.
I don't like the blueberry ones.
Okay.
Honestly, I don't really like most of the flavors. The strawberry ones with the colorful sprinkles on top, those are my favorites. And the cinnamon ones are good too, but the other ones can suck a dick. I don't really like any of the other ones. Chocolate ones are okay, but it's not my favorite.
Hugo's asking if I'm gonna play Halo. I can play Halo. I like Halo. I like Halo 1, the old Halo. The campaign on it was pretty good. I think I played Halo 2, but it's been a while. But I actually liked Halo 1. It probably needs an update now. I don't know what that looks like now. But yeah, it was a fun game when that came out. There's something about... I liked late 90s and early 2000s games where they had kind of... there was a certain amount of realism, but they weren't really ultra-realistic yet. I liked that era. There's something kind of more artistic about the games. Like I'm a huge fucking 007 GoldenEye fan, but you can't get it for Xbox One. The licensing is all fucked up on it, which is a shame. You can get Perfect Dark though, which is a clone. It's the same engine. It's just different skins on it. Really, I have it. Maybe I'll play that.
What I was gonna say about Pop-Tarts though was that I kind of get a craving for them every now and then, but. Every now and then, I would be at work and sometimes they'd have the little 2-packs, the little 2-pack foil thing in the snack machine. And I'd be like, man, why not? I haven't had one in a few months. So I go and get one, and then I have one, and it's really, really good. But then I find that I can't eat both of them without wanting to throw up. I don't really know. I wish they would kind of package them just individually instead of 2. Because 2, I feel like that's too many. I always it kind of makes me feel sick Like if I eat 2 of them. Slasher Fred said, I remember the Tombstone pizza commercial. I remember this too, actually. With the prisoner about to be put to death and the executioner asking, what do you want on your tombstone? I used to think that was one of the most brilliant commercials. Because, you know, I have a dark sense of humor, and I liked that the company went there. I said, you know what? They probably named that company Tombstone just so they could do that in the commercials, and I respect that game. I do. So I really did like that commercial, that whole thing, actually. Strawberry the best. I'm assuming we're talking about Pop-Tarts. S'mores Pop-Tarts and the iced cinnamon are the best. I don't think I've ever had a s'mores one. I'm not a big marshmallow fan.
Yeah, I had the cinnamon ones. I really didn't like
the cinnamon ones are pretty good.
I like the fruit stuff.
I don't like. Well, I like the strawberry ones, and the cherry ones are. They have cherry ones, right?
Yeah, I think so.
The cherry ones are passable. I don't. It's like the strawberry ones are my favorite, and I'll eat a cinnamon. I'll eat a chocolate one if I have to.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean,
great.
They might have a bunch more flavors now that I'm not aware of because I don't usually buy them. Like I said, like last time you went to Sam's, you bought some, but
yeah, I got them a sample. They had a whole damn case of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like I said, you can have the blueberry ones because I don't like
price
those.
was right on them. This is all I'm taking
like
in. The case had 4 packs in it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
4 boxes.
So we got Pop-Tarts out the
12.
wazoo.
I think each box had either 8 or 12 in it. I don't remember.
Good thing for me that I'm too lazy to walk down
8
there
or 12 packs. Or 2 in each little pack.
Gramthars says, what food sources exist in your backyard for you to kill and eat when the grid goes down?
The neighbors?
The neighbors. Deer?
No. Man, look, they got all these people, you know, that think, oh, man, I can... This is even in Mississippi, you know, and fucking Alabama and the areas where there's a lot of deer. You hear people that hunt deer, you know, part-time or whatever. They say, oh, man, we go down, I got my 270, I can get deer out there all day long. Yeah, you and fucking millions of other people. Those deer will all be gone in a starvation area in a few months. That's what the Fish and Wildlife is all about. Stopping people from hunting those things to extinction. Because that last depression here in the United States, that's almost what happened. Fish and Wildlife at the state level and the federal feds backed it. They did everything they could to keep the number of hunters down to a minimum because they would, and to make sure that all the seasons were done right so the breeding of these animals wasn't being impeded on by the hunting, the hunting activity. The U.S. population is too high. If they tried to live as hunter-gatherers, they'd eat this place up in a fucking matter of a few months. So, no, you can't hunt and survive. No, it'd all be gone soon. This is all being held together artificially. Power production has to remain exactly the same. If it dips, it's going to fuck up the crops. And as soon as those crops are fucked up, the population will start declining. Government can't feed you. They don't make anything. They don't have fucking stockpiles of food. That's why I'm fucking worried, man. They're talking about, well, we're going to shut down this, shut down fucking oil production, shut down fertilizer production, and this and that. Just getting rid of fertilizer alone. Just that would probably fucking reduce yearly crop yields in certain areas by half, which would mean famine. If famine happens, this place is going to blow. These people aren't used to fucking famine and not having instant gratification for food. And it's agribusiness, Agribusiness supports this population. Without that, it'll implode. And it'll be bad. And the thing is that the government, no matter how much power or money they can pull out of thin air, they can't speed the harvest. There won't be any food. And it takes years to get the harvest right again. Maybe 2-3 years. And you can't do that in a time of civil war. The same thing is happening on the fucking African continent. They're trying to grow food, but they're fighting during the growing, and they're attacking food production because they're starving all at the same time. It's a vicious cycle, and it never comes back. The population then declines down to next to nothing. The area is now vacated. Somebody else comes in there and starts from scratch, and it takes another 10 years or a decade for that area to come back. And they keep fucking around with power production and crops, you'll have that situation in Europe and in the United States, and it's not going to be recoverable, I don't think. Civilization is the fragile balance of supply and demand with an angry, uncivilized population, especially in high density populations in cities. They don't understand. If that ATM card doesn't work, or if the EBT cards don't work, and if there's nothing in the fucking supermarkets, they're 9 meals away from anarchy, and it wouldn't recover. It'd be like Katrina. Imagine you'd have, and I lived through Katrina, you'd have a Katrina in every major city simultaneously. It'd be out of control. It would never recover. You'd be forced to cannibalism, which has happened many times in the 20th century. Russia was resorted to cannibalism several times.
Rebecca says, bloody work calls out of the blue. Fuck my life. I'll get back to seeing a whole live show again one day. Bye, y'all. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, you can watch the whole thing later. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Tammy says, just had 3 bucks in our backyard this morning. Our puppy just sat looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of deer out here. A lot of bears out here. Probably bunnies. All that kind of stuff. I don't know. I'm not really all that worried about it.
What?
Nothing. I'm trying not to worry about anything, really. I try to only worry about shit I can control. I'm worried about that enough.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about shit I can't control. If I starve to death, I starve to death. I'm really not all that worried about it.
Nothing's changed. Human beings have always been the same. And famine and disease, war. We're not immune.
Well, like I said, I'm not worried about it. Not worried about it. It's Friday night. Trying to have a good time. Trying to have a good time.
Yep.
Tammy also says, we have 2 apple trees they're loving right now. Even have a bear that comes once in a while. Oh, coming to eat the apples. So did we put those, you put the banana trees in the back, right?
I got 2 banana trees.
The 2 banana trees?
Yeah, none of that stuff will be ready this year. That will take a long time.
I mean, I don't like bananas anyway. So
here's another thing. What I got growing back there is all experimental. I'm trying to figure out what yields the best and what yields the most food for the least amount of money. So far, it's been eggplant. Eggplant fucking kicks ass.
I mean, we have like so much eggplant.
Yeah, eggplant
we don't even
just
know what
keeps
to do
coming.
with all of it. And I mean, I like eggplant. I'm not saying that, but
so I'm being encouraged to plant more eggplant because I know that yields. Another one that did pretty good was sweet potatoes. A small amount of sweet potatoes in bags yielded sweet potatoes. I haven't even eaten them. And a sweet potato can stay at room temperature up on a counter as long as you don't wash it with water. Just leave them sitting open in a big old fucking thing. It'll stay for months without them going bad. They kind of get sweeter as they get older. So sweet potatoes did well, so I'm going to do more of those. So I'm going to do more sweet potatoes, more eggplant. Tomatoes kicked ass for a while, but they kind of come in cycles. Probably won't get any more tomatoes for another couple months. But tomatoes do well in the South. Probably do more tomatoes. Bell peppers did well. Got a lot of bell peppers. And I got like 7 or 8 of them down there that we need to eat. I was going to use them as pizza toppings or something.
that's okay.
Or maybe they're big enough to make a stuffed bell peppers with.
Oh shit, I haven't had that in a long time. That sounds good, actually.
The thing is, and jalapenos fucking kicked ass. They made a lot. Here's the problem with peppers. They don't have many calories, so it's not something you can live on. But you can save money. They have flavor. You know what I mean? It's like a free bonus.
Well, yeah, I mean, no one's trying to like live off of peppers.
No, you can't live off of them. But you do have, and then I'm doing herbs. I got rosemary growing out there, basil. I got this plant out there that I'm growing. I forgot what it's called. It makes these little leaves that are sweet. And you can put them in coffee and crush them, and it'll act as a sweetener. I forgot what the shit's called.
Not stevia, is it?
Stevia.
Yeah.
I got a stevia out there. It's growing okay. It's not really ready to harvest, so I don't really know what it's going to be like. Stevia, that's what I got.
Yeah, that's what they make a lot of the
Yeah.
kind of sweeteners that they.
Yeah, I gotta see how that yields. Oh, got some
Thank
more.
you. Next Dimension Media. Love the T-shirt, Jenny. Thank you. I used to have the Creep Show comic book they put out when the movie was released. I lost it though in one of my moves. I actually saw that when I bought this T-shirt because I bought it at FYE at the mall, and they, the Altamont Mall that's near us, and they actually had like a little table with a bunch of horror stuff on it, and they had like, reproductions of that Creepshow book that came out at the time. And I was actually going to buy it, but it was like $30, $35, and I was like, oh, okay, that's a little rich for my blood. But this shirt, I think, was 25 or 20. Like, I got a couple because they were buy one, get one free or something. Buy one, get one half off, whatever they were. So I got like this one, and I got like a Halloween one too.
I got a lemon tree out there. It's about 6-7 feet tall. It's still in the planter. I can't bury it until the summer's over. But it's got a shit ton of lemons on it, but they're all green. I think one of them turned yellow. But we'll see what that is. I got 2 banana trees I put in the ground, but that'll be a couple years before I see anything there. And those banana trees actually make bananas. The other ones I had were decorative banana trees. I didn't even know. And then got 2 papaya trees, and I got a fucking passion fruit. That's and a couple different kinds of tomatoes. The beefsteak tomatoes yielded the best. The little cherry tomatoes yield a lot, but towards the end of the yield, they kind of start to lack flavor. They don't really get that big, and they kind of stay half green on one side. They kind of get sickly looking. We'll see if they should yield again. We'll see. But,
can we just say that I'm just like so fucking glad that August is almost over?
Yeah.
Even though in Florida it's still going to be hot for like another 3 or 4 months. But
not that hot though.
But yeah, but the thing about it is that I'm always kind of like excited whenever August is over and I'm like September comes because I'm like, oh, now it's like unofficially fall. I'm like, even though it's still going to be hot as shit for like another few months, but at least we're going in the right direction.
Yeah. It's not really hot. It's in the 80s. But
it's right now it's raining and it's 87.
Yeah.
It says on my thing.
After August, it's still in the 80s, but the humidity goes down. I've noticed. It's not.
And it slightly cools off at night.
Yeah, and
I've noticed.
And the wind blows a little bit better. It blows a little bit more, so it's effectively the heat index goes down, so it doesn't feel as hot.
Yeah. I mean, it's still hot, but it's not.
It doesn't feel anywhere near as hot as the heat of summer, dead of summer.
But it's not like you're walking outside and like walking into a sauna and thinking you're gonna die or nothing.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
So I don't know.
I didn't think it was that bad this year.
Well, that's because we didn't go outside for like days and days at a time.
But most people do that.
Well, I've always done that. Like I said, I was born in Florida.
Yeah.
So you knew that once May and June came along, it's like, well, I'm hibernating in front of the air conditioning.
Yeah, you don't
see you in 4 months.
You just don't go out during the day if you don't have to. Nighttime it cools off some. It's not that bad. It's muggy, but it's not as punishing,
Yeah, but it's always just kind of like, I don't know. I was thinking about that the other day. I was just kind of like, ooh, it's like, well, not only because September is like one of my favorite months because like my birthday is in September too, but I like the whole. I don't like spring. I don't like summer. I don't like anything having to do with spring or summer. I don't like any of the iconography about it. I don't like any of the I don't like any of that. And maybe like people that live in like a really cold climate, they're just like happy to see spring coming and stuff. Fuck that. I don't like it. I always get really happy when I start seeing back to school shit and fall stuff and like little pumpkins and stuff like that, like showing up in the stores. Then I'm just kind of like, yeah, that's my time of year. And maybe I'd feel different if I lived somewhere colder, but I don't. So you always knew that was the end of the shitty summer. Hoodie weather is the best weather, says Danny Rolling. I kind of feel like that too. I just like, it doesn't have to be freezing cold. I just like it to be cold enough that you can wear like a sweater or a coat, and you can just kind of like have some hot chocolate or some hot coffee, and you're just comfortable. You're not really thinking about, oh my God, I'm freezing my balls off, but other than that, like, yeah, you're not like really thinking about it. You're like, ooh, kind of nippy outside. It's like, I just kind of wish it was like that all the time, to be honest with you. because I really don't like being hot, and this is like the worst possible place on earth I could have been born, I guess. So I'm kind of stuck here. But I don't know. I was thinking about it earlier because I was watching Jade the Libra, and she was doing a little like get ready with me video, like putting her makeup on and like just talking about some bullshit. And she was talking about how excited she was that, you know, it was going to be September soon. I mean, she lives in Kansas City, I want to say. So she said that it was actually like nice outside, like it was rainy and like a little bit cool, and I was like, phew, must be nice. I mean, it's rainy here too, but it's still hot. Like I said, it's almost 7 p.m. It's 6:45 right now.
And it's still light out.
It's raining, and it's 87. Now, I have not been outside today. I try to avoid it wherever possible. But I imagine it's pretty hot and muggy outside because it's August. And like I said, it's still going to be hot, like all throughout September. But at least the nights start to cool off and the mornings start to cool off. And, you know, so you kind of get like more slightly fallish kind of weather. But we don't really have that drastic a change, like from season to season, which is, you know. Yeah, Tammy said any time of year when you're not sweating to death. Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I'm just not a big fan of being damp and sweaty and sticky, and I just don't like it. I don't like it.
So, Gramthars sent me some pictures yesterday of him and my friend Steve was over at his place.
That's right. He said about that on Wednesday.
Yeah, he's shooting his fucking AR-15 and his SIG.
That's strong.
This SIG 226, and he has his little daughter with him. It's funny to see Steve in his 50s now. I said, you tell that bitch he needs to go on HRT and dye his fucking hair. His hair is fucking white. Look like fucking Johnny Winters now. He's not an old man. Says he's not that old. Come on, he's 52.
Well, maybe some people like that.
So, man,
I actually had a friend who her hair just went white and she just left it. And actually, it looks kind of cool, I thought, because it was just all like silvery white. I thought it was pretty. But you know, not everybody wants to dye it.
I just shaved all my fucking hair off anyway. My hair quality was getting bad. He's got a full, thick head of hair. It's just this white. That's a trip.
Like I said, I mean,
he's not that old.
It could work. But yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's the same age as you, right?
He's younger than me.
He's younger than you?
By about a year.
Well, that's not that much younger. I mean, that's effectively the same age.
The same age, yeah.
Effectively the same age.
Ow, shit.
Yeah, Tammy said when it's cold, you can add more layers, but when it's hot, you can only take off so much. Exactly. That's what I always said. If you're in Florida, you're walking around in a fucking bikini and you're still hot, there's really nothing much else you can do. You're just going to be uncomfortable. If you're cold, you can just put more like long johns and shit like that on, or more blankets. I don't know. I like cold weather. I just do. And I'm just like looking forward to pumpkin spice everything and just fall and winter. That's my favorite. Spring and summer can suck it. So like, you know, half the year I'm just kind of like trying to hibernate, trying to keep away from all the shit. I don't like it. That is a pretty strong drink that you made.
Well, I didn't. Maybe you need to stir it.
That's all right. We'll just kind of shake it.
I can't shake it. It'll go everywhere. It won't work.
I'm shaking it a little bit. Won't work. It'll be all right. Well, when it kind of like melts and stuff like that, it'll kind of like all run together. So when did Steve come here? That was a while back, right?
That was about.
Because the kid.
Did we have Pookie then? I don't think we did.
No, that was pre-Pookie. Like I said, we got Pookie in the summer of 2017 when she was a baby.
Yeah.
So that was before Pookie was even born.
I remember when Steve's kid was a baby, and
that's what I'm saying. Well, I thought when he came to visit us, he had pictures, and the kid was a baby. Was a baby.
Right.
So that was a while back. How old's the kid now?
Big enough to be running around shooting guns.
Well, how old is that?
Look like about 6.
That doesn't mean anything. Okay, that sounds about right then.
Yeah.
So that was probably like about 6 years ago.
Yeah.
Because I remember he came over and visited, but that was at the old house, clearly. Mm-hmm. John Smith said, I'm 42, and my luscious locks are the envy of any maiden.
Man, still.
I keep my hair long despite my brother that went bald at 30.
Look at Look at Pookie.
What she's doing?
She's got the minty in one hand and she's rubbing her face with it. I've never seen a cat be able to pick something up in her hand like that. Just push the.
I don't. She's like, why? Now she got all self-conscious because we looked at her.
Yeah.
And she just stopped and dropped it, and she was like, "What?
Yeah.
Am I doing something bad?" Or...
She's got this little thing. It's looks like.
Well, show it. Like, pull that. There's a little.
Well, I got one
there's
right
one of them on the cardboard over there too. I have her a new one that I haven't like even.
These
busted.
little things.
Yeah.
They got.
She fucking loves these.
It's
no,
mint.
it's not. It's mint. It's catnip. It's not catnip.
Grabs
it's
it
mint.
with one hand right here, and then just starts rubbing it on her face.
Beijing
like
does that too.
Like a person.
She's like.
Yeah.
Like she's really having
lay
like,
on her back, rubbing her face with it, and then if you look at her, she'll stop and she'll be like, "What?"
Well, because she gets, like I said, she thinks that you're mad at her or she's doing something bad that she's not supposed to be doing. I have to get new ones of those. I think I've mentioned this before. I usually get new ones. I think they're like $2 or $3 or something like that. I get them from Chewy, and because she loves them and Beijing loves them too, and Beijing does the same thing where she picks them up in one hand and just rubs them all over her face.
Yeah.
And they're not catnip, they're mint. But catnip and mint are in the same plant family.
Yeah, they love it. Okay, if you guys have any questions or any topics or anything like that, if you want us to talk about, just go ahead and drop it in the comment section. You can inspire us. We need some interaction.
Sorry, I was laughing about, because remember how I just said, how John Smith said about how he kept his hair long despite his brother.
Yeah.
Because he went bald at 30.
Yeah.
He said, I always insist we meet outside so he can see it flow in the breeze.
That's funny. That's funny.
I fucking love that. I love that.
Funny.
That's hilarious. Danny Rolling said, pumpkin spice frosted shredded mini wheat cereal is the shit. You know what? I've been wanting to try that because honestly, I know it's very basic bitch of me, but man, I love pumpkin spice shit. I will eat pumpkin spice anything, and I love frosted mini wheats, like the plain ones, and I've never had the pumpkin spice ones, and I'm sure that would probably be like the best fucking thing ever. Like maybe they'll have them at Dollar General. Maybe I should get a Dollar General and see if they have them, or run down to Publix and see if they got them. Or I guess I could just order them off Amazon if I'm being really lazy.
Yeah.
That's what I usually... Isn't this sad? I'm too lazy to drive to Dollar General, which is literally next door. Like, I could walk to it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
It's literally right next door. And Publix is maybe a mile. Maybe. I'm literally
no, it's more than a mile. It's 2 miles.
You think?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've walked farther than that, though.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying that it's like, I could literally just like, it would literally like take me 5 minutes to like drive there. And if I want food, like I'm like, oh, I should get some oatmeal or I should get some cereal or something like that, I'll just order it from Amazon and just have them leave it at the front door. That's how fucking lazy I am. I don't like to drive. That's the thing.
So what's everybody drinking? Go ahead and tell us in the comment section. I know y'all are drinking.
Tammy said, I grew catnip this year, and my cats couldn't be bothered with it. I've heard about a lot of people like growing catnip. I wonder if it's just maybe the catnip that they're giving you to grow. Maybe they just don't. I don't know.
I tried to grow basil down lower on the ground, and fucking Beijing ate it all. I was going, man, why is the basil? Where's it going? And I saw her out there chewing.
Beijing went on the back porch and ate all of the basil.
So I had to put it in. I had to put it higher up where she couldn't get it. I got it on a big old higher up, but she can't get it now. She'll eat every bit of basil.
Weird. She's weird.
She likes it.
She'll eat basil. She eats Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
Although I kind of feel like Pookie probably likes Parmesan cheese too. We used to like sprinkle it on the floor sometimes, and both the cats would like fight over it. We haven't done that in a while. But yeah, they're both really into those minty things. And I've bought them, like I have to buy new ones like every month or so because they love them so much that they just like rub them all over and they roll around with them and they get like all fucking grubby. So
Holy Parish of Doom is drinking peach schnapps and rum. Wonder what that tastes like. Somebody drinking water with apple cider vinegar and fasting.
I'm fasting and so lame. Oh, yeah. That's okay. I mean, you got to do what you got to do. Got to do what you got to do. John Smith said, I bought combs just to throw them away in front of him, saying my hair is too thick for them and he dies a little inside. I love this whole situation. I love it. Oh my god, that's so awesome. I love the shade. I just love it. Man, I have such beautiful, thick, lovely hair that this comb is just not making it.
Yeah.
And then meanwhile, his bald ass is over there just going, That's
John
pretty funny.
Smith drinking hot chocolate, but it's bedtime for me. Okay.
Hot chocolate. I love hot chocolate.
I'm not drinking, but I'm about to get some beer. Smoking a nightly blunt. Okay.
Yeah, you know, that's how it's Friday
He's
night.
He's going to get that
everybody.
American piss water beer.
Oh, God.
Schlitz. You want to get some Schlitz.
Man, do you remember, like, on Wednesday night's show?
Yeah.
That was, somebody told me that Killian's Red was made by Coors.
Yeah, it's cool. Okay, I thought it might have been Miller, but it's Coors. Okay.
Yeah, somebody told me, somebody commented on Wednesday's show and said...
that's a decent piss beer. That's a decent piss beer.
Yeah, I don't mind that one, actually. Like I said, I'm not a big beer fan, and I'm not a beer connoisseur, so, you know, I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, it's like knowing all the difference between the beers and stuff. I honestly couldn't be bothered. But Killian's was okay. Killian's
is
okay.
the best of the mass-produced cheap American beers that have been Killian's. And they named that bitch. They gave it a straight up Mick fucking name, like it's trying to sound as Irish as shit.
They should have called it
came out of a
Patties.
You call it shit McPatties
if they wanted to be any more Irish.
McPatties, McDougal's
with like a fucking leprechaun on the front.
Going,
shit. I always wonder about that because I always wonder. It's like. I'm sure, like, actual Irish people are just kind of like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Like, St. Patrick's Day with all the leprechauns and the pots of gold. They're like, fuck all y'all. Y'all aren't Irish.
Yeah.
Well, honestly...
where that came from, some of them were, you know, depends on where it is.
No, I know that, but...
Boston, there's Irish boroughs up there that...
Oh, I know there are.
Yeah.
But when I was in the UK, like, actual Irish people told me they thought it was hilarious that, like, Americans that had never been to Ireland in their lives were calling themselves Irish. They're like, fuck off.
It was identified as a race.
They'd never been here.
It's
like, what are they even talking about?
being Irish American in the 17 and 1800s was basically being a foreign race.
It was a big deal. Like, I get it. You know what I mean? I get it. Because there were, like, you know, so many Irish people, like, immigrated here.
Yeah, they weren't allowed to be in certain places.
Yeah, and they got horribly discriminated against.
Yeah.
So, you know, I get that. I get that they banded together and did that kind of stuff. But nowadays, like I said, like, actual Irish people that, you know, live in Ireland think it's funny that Americans...
Whitey Bulger was one of them, and, you know, a lot of the fucking problems with the fucking... that Irish Civil War that was going on with the Troubles. All that was fucking Whitey Bulger and his gang was behind a lot of that.
He just died a couple years ago, didn't he?
Yeah,
they thought he might have killed the Lady of the Dunes, among other people.
That dude, and he was.
I don't know if he did or not.
He was in league with a bunch of guys that ended up in the FBI, and you know how crooked the American fucking government has always been. But the IRA was basically being fucking supported by Whitey Bulger's gang. They were raising money in Boston. And they were raising money for the IRA, but they were doing it surreptitiously through, the story was this fucking gambling and doing the numbers was part of where it came, and some of it may have actually come from rogue elements and kind of the CIA maybe had something to do with it. And they were taking that money and they were buying AR-180s, which were Armalites. Eugene Stoner's other design, not the M16, but he had one that came out after that called the M18 or the AR-180 or AR-18, but they were taking the civilian semi-auto versions and buying them and stockpiling them in certain places in the United States. I think it might have actually been Boston where they were stockpiling them and then having them smuggled out of Boston to Ireland, and they would disseminate them amongst Irish Republican Army. And then like plans on how to make fucking bombs and explosives and homemade flamethrowers, and this was all coming out of Irish American neighborhoods in Boston. It's where the money was coming from. So yeah, they were Irish, all right. They were very Irish. They were Irish enough to fucking support the IRA with fucking fun.
I mean, but that was like a long time ago. I'm talking about like modern day.
Well, that wasn't that far ago. That was 80s, 70s, 80s.
I know, but I'm talking about like people that are...
Okay.
When I was in the UK, like recently, like in the 2000s, like in the 90s and the 2000s,
Okay.
like they just thought it was funny that like I get that. I know all about that, but I'm just saying. Let's see. Zach says, ha ha ha, it's all piss water. I mean, it is largely.
Yeah.
I'm not a big beer fan. John Smith said, and the bitchiest thing is, I love this so much. The bitchiest thing is, long hair doesn't really suit me. It's just me trolling him.
Yeah. There are a couple...
I admire your commitment
There are
to the spite. I admire that.
There are two bigger American beer companies that are not piss water. Yuengling is not piss water. It is.
Yuengling is good. I like Yuengling.
Yeah, it's a low cost, high quality, high value beer. You're getting a lot more than what you're paying for out of Yuengling. That was America's oldest brewery, and they have a fucking black beer and they have a fucking red beer. It's pretty. Yuengling is pretty good. The other one would be Sam Adams. Sam Adams is pretty good, and they're big. It's a big company, bigger than a European company probably. But it would be small compared to Busch and Anheuser-Busch.
Well, the thing about Bud and Busch and stuff like that is you can get those everywhere.
Yeah, that's like
the
Coca-Cola.
thing about Yuengling though, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that my sister's ex-husband, who was from Philly, he was a big fan of Yuengling. Now, when him and my sister moved out to Denver, you couldn't get Yuengling out there because they weren't allowed to sell it. It was just like Smokey the Bandit. They didn't sell it west of the Mississippi River. So you couldn't get it out there for whatever reason. I don't know why. But so every time that he came to Florida to visit because his family lived in Deltona. So every time they came here to visit, they would stock up and he would fill the car up with Yuengling so he could go back with it. But I don't know. It might be available on the other side of the Mississippi now, but for whatever reason, they didn't have it. But honestly, like I said, I'm not a beer connoisseur, but Yuengling is good. I mean, honestly, beer... I've never found a beer that I liked enough to get me drunk. To drink enough to get me drunk. You know what I mean?
Yuengling is comparable to kind of probably a middle-ranking European beer. In terms of quality and flavor, it might be cheaper actually.
I haven't bought it in a long time, but I don't know how much it is.
Yeah,
sometimes I get it when I'm out, but
it's better than I would say some of the Australian beers. Like I think it's better than Foster. You know,
Foster's isn't that good.
No,
I don't think.
Yeah. Foster's not.
I've only had it once or twice, but I don't remember it being all that good. It wasn't terrible. It just wasn't all that memorable.
Yeah, it's better than that.
I mean, honestly, like I said, if I have to drink beer, which is never my first choice, but if I have to drink it, I'll usually get Yuengling or I'll get something that's flavored. Honestly, what was that fucking beer that I got at Will's Pub the other day that was like Hershey's?
Yeah,
that was like
beer.
A chocolate beer.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
That shit was actually pretty.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I thought it was going to be gross, but I'm like, well, this is oddly delicious.
Although you gotta look.
I like coffee beers.
You gotta hand it to the Australians though. Foster's was better than fucking Bud. A lot better than Budweiser.
Well, pretty much everything's better than Bud.
Yeah, so you're putting it at that.
I don't even like Bud.
Better, yeah.
It doesn't taste like anything.
Oh.
It doesn't taste like anything.
They don't know. They're just drinking it. They don't know.
And it's not really even that strong. Like, even if you want to drink it, like, you want to get drunk, like, you have to drink, like, a fuck ton of it, and it doesn't taste that good.
Yeah, but they're drinking it, see? And it didn't cost much.
I mean, that's kind of, I guess, well, the thing about it, though, is if you grew up somewhere that was the only beer that was available, or that was all you could afford, then you probably got a taste for it.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, that chocolate beer that you had, that was American. That was American microbrewery beer. See, that's another thing, is that, you have all this microbrewery beer. You don't know where it came from. The quality's usually real good.
Well, like I said, nowadays you can get really good beer everywhere. And honestly, Will's Pub, one of their big things is they like to have a variety of kind of like artisan type of beers.
The thing is, though, is we got thousands and thousands of those companies, and they're all small. You can't remember them, and you can't reliably find the same ones over and over again. It's like every fucking few months, you look and there's just all new beers. Where are these coming from? You know what I mean? You just don't know. But they're all consistently pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean, have some weird flavors, chocolate beer and coffee beer.
I like those. I like coffee beers. I like chocolate beers. I like pumpkin beers.
Yeah.
I like all that kind of stuff.
And then they have got a shit ton of fucking ciders. Pear cider, hard apple cider,
I like that too.
They are different. Yeah.
Honestly, that Angry Orchard shit. Like if you don't have that much money and you just want something like to kind of get a little bit of buzz, yeah, that Angry Orchard shit is like that's acceptable.
Somebody's mentioning fucking Black Velvet. Yeah, you put Angry Orchard in with Guinness Stout. Could we have that?
John Smith said,
great.
Guinness mixed with champagne.
Yeah, probably good. Yeah, probably real good.
I've never had that. We usually just do Guinness mixed with like apple or pear. Cider.
Guinness is good with pear hard cider.
I think pear was my favorite, and I'm not even a big fan of pear, but that we used to get it at not Will's Pub, but what was that other tiny little place down in the
Yeah, it was good.
What the fuck?
That's where they had all they'd play Cold Wave and Dark Wave there.
Yeah, what the fuck? That tiny place.
The Falcon.
The Falcon, there you go.
Yeah.
And they used to have pear cider, and they would mix it with that, and that was like really, really good. It's good. It works with apple too, but
we got a video of us fucking jamming out at the Falcon. Starry Night's playing there live, and I'm up front. Remember we were dancing, gothing out and shit.
I remember that.
Remember that? Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I wonder if that place is still open.
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's still spinning there.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah,
it's like an art gallery.
Nick Mariano.
Yeah, it's like an art gallery and pub.
I mean, it's tiny.
Yeah.
It's little, but it's super cool. It's a really cool place.
Yeah. Good clientele.
Yeah. They have a tiny dance floor. They have and the dance floor, like they have bands there sometimes that the band kind of has to play on the dance floor. So there's not like, they have kind of like, it's a little art gallery. They do like a lot of art, local artists that like put their stuff up there. They have a little bit of a Shining motif, which I'm into. They have like a lot of Shining art like in the bathroom and stuff. And they usually have real good beer. And like I said, Friday nights, they used to. I don't know if they do this anymore. But Friday nights, they would always do like real obscure, like Cold Wave. And it was like always really, really fun. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know, do they still do it? What's that night called? Uberbahn.
Yeah.
Friday nights at the Falcon. So we used to go there sometime.
That video. I think that video is on your channel, isn't it?
Maybe, but I changed
What was the name of that old channel you had?
Well...
Our Gothic Orlando, what?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know where it's posted. Like my YouTube channel that was just under my name, I don't have that anymore because I changed it out to one of my other channels. So, but I don't remember, that video wasn't on there because I just downloaded a bunch of videos off there the other day and there was nothing that wasn't on there. So it might have been like on Facebook or something.
It was one of the...
Because I changed because I used to have like just a Jenny Ashford YouTube channel that I had a few videos on from like 5 or 6 years ago. And I changed that out to either Scare Salon or I think I changed that one to Crime and Memorial. But before I did that, I downloaded all the videos that I had on that channel, and that was not one of them. So if it was, I still have it. Yeah, if it was, I still have it. I saved all the stuff. I didn't delete it, but I don't. That wasn't on there. Michael Schaefer said, "Tom, do you remember Milwaukee's Best?" And David June said Milwaukee's is almost as bad as. Yeah. DJ Maniac said you've used this title already. Probably.
What title?
The title that hard. Thinking of titles is hard. I know. Well, I didn't know if I'd used that exact terminology. I knew that I'd used working title edition. It's like, I don't know. I can never, because I don't know what we're going to talk about. So it's always kind of hard for me to like come up with a title every like single week. So I'm just starting to get fucking.
Yeah, I'm trying to find that live video. It's It
wasn't on your Facebook?
No. Got them live at the kitchen.
Holy Parish of Doom says marketing plus culturally there's a big push for crappy watery beer among macho types. I know. Because it's perceived apparently as a fuck you to those who prefer imports and specialty beers. I always kind of got that impression that people certain types of people like would drink Bud or something like that just because, oh, we just like this simple beer and not like that snotty blah blah blah. But it's just kind of like, yeah, but that beer is like fucking weak sauce.
It's terrible.
You know what I mean? So it's like all those hipsters are out machoing you because their beer is like way stronger and it tastes better. So
it's just
who's laughing
beer.
Now?
It's just shitty beer.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
I have never understood certain types of dudes that will just be like, well, I'll just drink like shitty ass beer because they think they're owning the, I don't know, like beer snobs. I'm like, okay.
I guess it's like
drink whatever crap you want. I don't care. I have good stuff.
They're drinking it ironically.
Good for you. Like, good for you. Drinking shitty stuff to like spite somebody that doesn't give a shit about what they're drinking. Yeah. I don't know. I don't get that.
I think that video's gone.
I wonder where it went to.
I don't know.
Well, don't look at me. I'm pretty sure you recorded it.
Yeah, I think I recorded it, but I don't think I posted it on my channel.
Oh.
I don't think. I mean, I can check my
Well,
channel.
I told you it wasn't on my YouTube channel because I just downloaded all of the videos off there the other day before I changed it out.
Let me look.
So I saved everything, but it wasn't on there.
Let me look. I'm gonna look.
It wasn't on there. DJ Maniac says, I'm leaving in about an hour industrial show in Brooklyn tonight. Oh, okay. Well, have fun with that. Have fun with that. Hugo says Modelo better than Guinness, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever had Modelo, actually.
No, I don't have it. It's not mine.
I'm sure it's someplace. It's not on your YouTube channel? Don't you have an old YouTube channel somewhere?
Hold on. Yeah, yeah. I lost control of that channel a long time ago.
Oh. What happened there? I still had mine. It's just all that was on there was just like a few random ass videos and like some old commercials I'd done for some of my books and stuff like that. I downloaded everything and then like I changed it out to another channel. DJ Maniac said, Jenny, I just DM'd you a post about a game called Write and Fight. Okay, I will look into that later. That sounds fun. Less filling tastes great, damn it. Yeah, I don't know. Do you guys remember Zima? Do you remember Zima?
Yeah, that shit. I remember that shit, yeah.
I don't know why I remembered that, but they must have spent a lot of money on like marketing back in the 90s because I remember everybody talking about that shit. And I remember drinking some.
Well, they tried to make that shit a phenomenon.
Yeah, they tried to make it. It worked for a little while.
For a little while.
I think it was a flash in the pan for a little while, but then, I mean, I don't really think that it got to the cultural, heights of White Claw. You know what I mean? Where everybody's drinking that shit, but we didn't have the internet back then, so that's probably why. You could just have stuff from like fucking nobody likes Zima. Yeah, it wasn't good.
Man, I'm gonna give my experience with the Zima.
You're gonna get. Oh, this should be good. This should be good.
Experience with the Zima. Okay.
I have very limited experience with Zima. I did drink it, but I didn't really feel one way or the other about it.
I had been up in Korea for a year, up at Camp Greaves with the 506 on that damn DMZ. And after I did my year there, me and basically everybody else from my unit, we all got shipped out to Fort Campbell, the 101st. And joining the 101st, and that was really where the 506 originally came from. It was like the sister division of because we were coming out of an airborne unit that was attached to a leg unit. Long story. So we go back to our mother division, and we all went to basic training together. We were what was called a cohort platoon, where we were all manufactured together, all deployed together, and we moved around our whole career together. Same fucking crowd of dudes. Okay, it's like we grew up together. So we get sent back to Fort Campbell, 101st, and it was like we were coming back to civilization. We were fucking impressed because we had been used and abused for about for at least a year, basic training, and then right to the DMZ, which was like a maximum security prison, and they were just running you at 100. You couldn't run older soldiers like that because they would know better. They would want to quit. It was like a Ranger battalion. So we come back. And we thought this shit was civilized as a motherfucker. God, man, this place is laid out. It is fucking classy as shit. So we all go to, people are buying cars and everything. The whole idea of, hey, we bought a car, we can fucking leave the fort. So whole gangs of us were fucking buying these cars and carpooling and going downtown to what was the name? Not Clarksville. What was the fucking name of that damn? Not Nashville. Man, I can't remember. There's a city. There's a city we used to go to.
Take the last train to Clarksville.
Might have been Clarksville.
That was the month.
No, it wasn't Clarksville. I'm trying to remember. It wasn't Nashville.
Sorry, we're just fucking with you.
I can't remember it best, but it sounds crazy. But
Somethingville. It was Somethingville.
Yeah, no, it didn't end with a Ville. It was,
Okay.
but the little villages ended with Ville. But anyway, we went to this fucking generic meat market jog boy bar. All of us went down there.
I hate those.
It was like one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, we all know what you're talking
We were just, we had only been in the United States for like a couple months. We were just settling in. And this was like the first time we were all like
You're walking around like a bunch of noobs.
Fucking right, yeah. So we go to the and I fucking mosey up to the bar, and they had a damn lit up sign that said Zima.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then underneath it was a little mini.
This wizardry?
Yeah, I was like, what? And then underneath that was one of those little pretty refrigerators with the glass doors.
Sure.
It's all lit up, and it had all these bottles of Zima. And
the bottle was nice, like
yeah,
I
it had a nice bottle,
and it had like a nice, like kind of minimalist, like
yeah, and it was all white and sparkly looking shit.
I remember that.
It looked like a damn bottle of fucking gin or something, little bottle of gin, like the size of a Coke bottle. And I said, Zima, what is Zima? And the bartender had to explain it to me. He says, it's a refreshing alcoholic beverage. And I said, well, what's it made out of? Beer? And he's like, no. And I says, it's vodka? And he goes, no, he's like, it's a malt beverage.
Yeah.
And I said, what the fuck is a malt beverage?
What does that mean?
What the fuck is a malt beverage? And somebody's with me. I don't remember who it was. Just one of my brothers is with me, and he's mystified too. What's a malt beverage?
What is this stuff?
Yeah. It's all lit up. And it just said, look, he's trying to explain it. I said, look, just give us two. Give us two. So we're drinking it, and dude's looking at us.
Meanwhile, everyone in the bar is looking at you.
Yeah. Well, they're probably not really noticing.
They're drinking Zima.
Yeah. But me and the other dude are like, dude, man.
Probably nobody knows.
This is like Sprite. This is like Sprite. We were impressed with it.
It was like shitty Sprite.
Like, yeah. We got about 3 of them apiece. We're getting fucking hammered on fucking Zima. And
oh my
shit.
God.
Somebody shows up.
The Zima drunk. And
yeah,
said,
we're sitting there, man.
What are you doing? I'm provoking your man card.
Yeah, that's what happened.
Is that
what happened? She ruined the fucking story.
I could foresee.
Yeah. We're sitting there. We drank like 3 of them things. And I think it was Win. His name is Win. Win showed up and he goes, "What you drinking right there, man?" Fucking, he had it down, dip in his mouth. Says, "What y'all drinking right there?" And I said, "Dude, it's called a Zima. And we don't know what it is. It's like Sprite." And he goes, "Man, put that shit down. That's for fags. Put that shit down." He got us off of that. He says, No, you get a gin and tonic. Don't drink that shit.
Wait. Whoa.
Yeah,
hold up.
Yeah.
He told you
to get a gin and tonic.
That Zima was for gays.
For gays, yeah.
And then he told you to get a gin and tonic.
Yeah, that was old man drink.
Something about that does not compute.
Yeah, no.
I thought that he was going to say, don't drink the Zima.
Yeah.
Have a bud.
No, gin and tonic. Gin and tonic. That's what he was drinking. Because he drank it.
It was a different time.
Yeah,
it was a different time.
He drank it, and he's
because like I said, and hey, I'm not averse to a gin and tonic. I like a gin and tonic every now and then. Although, like I said, I can't have more than 2 or 3 because they're very acidic and they will make me throw up if I have more than 2.
Yeah.
But I like them. But it is kind of a little bit an old man drink.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of an old man drink.
Yeah. Well, it was sweet. It was kind of sweet.
Yeah.
But we were just fucking pounding them. All right. And fucking, I was pretty sure it was Win. Isn't it? Win that fucking stopped all that. He's like, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. No. Don't give them any more of these.
No Zima. This is not allowed.
Yeah. He told the bartender, don't give them any more of these. He says, fucking, you can drink a man's drink. Gin and tonic. So we started drinking.
See, I just thought...
I was only 22.
I thought the story was going to go a different way. Or I at least thought that he was going to go, don't drink any Zima, like, let's have some whiskey.
No.
Or something like more macho.
No.
I thought. Gin and tonic is not very macho.
Well, no. I don't really understand where you're getting from. It's because Zima kind of tasted a little bit like gin and tonic. He had us drink a gin and tonic.
Okay. But still, gin and tonic. I thought he was offended because he was going to revoke your man card.
Yeah, he did. He revoked it.
But revoking your man card and then telling you to drink a gin and tonic instead, that's reinstituted. It's a little bit of lateral move. I'm just going to say it's a lateral move. I thought he was going to say, drink some shots of whiskey, you pussies.
No.
I thought that's what he was going to say.
No, he wasn't that uncouth. He has style.
Oh, he's not as uncouth as I am.
Yeah, no, he has style. He has style. Gwen has style. He's just like, no, don't drink that. And that's what happened to Zima.
Well,
that's why I think that business model collapsed.
But the thing about it though is that Zima, not Zima particularly, but that business model kind of had the last laugh because nowadays you have, like I said, White Claw, you have like all these kind of stuff that are, I mean, I will admit they taste a lot better than Zima.
I don't know. Zima tasted pretty good from what I remember.
It was all right, but it was essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
But nowadays, no one really looks askance at you. They might be like, hipster or whatever.
In the 90s.
But back in the 90s, 92? You were drinking a Zima, people would think a certain kind of way.
92 in 92, that was some experimental shit. We didn't even know what a malt beverage was. The only thing close to malt beverage would be like malt liquor. And that guy drew the equivalent. He goes, it's malt liquor, like Colt 45. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah. Because I drank that. Hell yeah. I drink this. See, I was another thing, I almost had my white card revoked for drinking fucking malt liquor back in the day.
There's another thing.
Yeah.
You had several cards revoked that.
Yeah, so you're no longer white.
It was a big night for you.
You drank malt liquor. It was a crazy dynamic back then. But the thing is, though, fucking malt liquor was better than piss water beer. Brother knew that.
I will agree with that.
Oh, yeah. Hell
I mean, I would much rather drink
Colt
some cheap-ass Colt 45
yeah, it was heavy,
than Bud.
It was heavy and smooth. And
Not even a contest.
It was heavy and smooth and fucking very kind of strong. You could drink a lot of it and fucking get real fucked up. And it was a better experience than drinking fucking Bud. It was King Cobra. That was another one we used to drink.
I think somebody mentioned that earlier.
Oh, did it? Yeah.
Chat.
And there was another one called something Bull. Not Red Bull, but...
Well, obviously, but... Yeah.
Something Bull. It had a Red Bull on it, though. It was a silver can with a Red Bull, and it was something in a bull. You guys might remember that was another one we used to get. Now you show up in the barracks and say, yeah, we'll drink that. If it showed up in the Army barracks...
It's got a bull on it, so it's allowed.
Well, it was alcohol. It was alcohol. Gotta remember, the fucking infantry barracks is a mixture of everybody. It's white guys, Latinos, and black guys. And fucking... Sometimes the black dudes will score and a whole bunch of fucking malt liquor and start handing it out. You drank it. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, any alcohol is... I'm not going to turn down any alcohol. Come on.
Yeah, right.
You guys know me.
Right.
But I will not... I'm not going to deny that certain kind of alcohol... Maybe less so than used to be. But certain kind of alcohol have a certain kind of, social cachet to them.
Yeah.
If you see... Like I said, I think it's less... I don't think it's as prominent as it used to be.
No, it's not
because now everybody has the internet and everybody has their own little thing going on, and most people are just kind of like, hey man, you do you, whatever. Which to me that's better. But back in the day, you were drinking the wrong thing, everyone's gonna be like, what the fuck are you drinking? Lion X Warrior said gin and tonic is very little pinky in the air. And then John Smith said, I always associate gin with girls crying on the stairwell at a party saying, and that's when he left me.
Maniac.
Gin and tonic in the U.S., I don't know about nowadays, but I kind of feel like gin and tonic has always been kind of like an old person's drink. Like an old-fashioned or something like that. But now, old-fashioned... that's kind of had a resurgence lately because that's more of because people have been rediscovering old drinks from the old days, and that's kind of a thing now. But I still kind of feel like gin and tonic is an old man drink.
Remember what it was called.
I like them though.
It was called Schlitz Malt Liquor Bull.
That's right. I remember. Yeah. I remember.
It was pretty good. I liked it. But I was up there in the fucking barracks drinking. I think it was King Cobra. And my boy, Bear Grock, I'm sick of drinking that shit. He says, what are you drinking that King Cobra for? And I said, well, Carl brought it. Carl was a black soldier. He was a buddy of ours. I said, Carl brought that shit. Fucking, he says, better be drinking that shit. Next thing you know, be able to smoke and Swisher Sweets and shit.
Man, you can still buy those at convenience stores.
Next, you're going to be smoking
for 50 cents or $1 each. Yeah. I don't know how much they are.
Right, so I got white checked. I got white checked by my fucking butt. But this was all part of the game.
Like I said,
it was all
so
part
many
of the game.
cards you got revoked.
It was all part of the game.
You're no longer a white man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, I
all-
mean, it's a good thing that you're an honorary Mexican because you have that to fall back on. You have that to fall back on.
That was all part of the '90s Army game. It was all part of the '90s Army game. We fucked with each other incessantly. It was okay. College hazing wasn't shit on 1990s Army infantry in an airborne unit. Constant fucking hazing, constant psychological warfare, constantly punking a motherfucker out. Constant fucking. It was just constant. But we loved it. We loved it. We would try to engineer new ways to fuck with each other. It was funny though, man. And you had to learn to take it. If you got mad, it was a sign of weakness. You couldn't get mad.
I mean, but you do understand that women have their own thing of that, and I would argue that women's psychological warfare is way worse than dudes.
Probably.
Way worse. We know how to like wound you for life. You know what I mean? Because and I think that's because women like actually know you, so they know all of your vulnerabilities, so they know like how to get to you, like so it will for maximum like trauma. Yeah, you know. Yeah. Let's see. Where was I? Oh, I just saw something that I wanted to say. DJ Maniac said Zima and Taco Bell and Doom were a Friday night staple for me in high school.
Hell yeah.
That sounds like a lot of people. I mean, I was out of high school by 1990. Like, I graduated in 1990. So that was a little bit past my time. But I do kind of feel like... I just remember, like, Zima being a big thing. And I think that I was... When did Zima come out? Does anybody know?
90s. 1991, 92, around that time. 92,
I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't a big drinker in high school. I didn't really start drinking until later, like until I was in my 20s or 30s. Like, I don't know. I just never got into it. So I don't even think I drank any Zima until later because I got curious about it. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, why is this fucking... all these commercials about
DJ
Zima?
Maniac came out and said King Cobra was awful. What did he say? King Cobra was awful? What did he say?
Yeah.
King Cobra was not awful.
It's fucking awful, and they still sell it in the hood over here, along with St. Ides.
Yeah, it's St. Ides. Yeah, I remember that one too. We used to drink that.
Yeah, they still got that.
Yeah, we used to drink that one too. King Cobra.
They got that at the liquor store, like down at the shit.
King Cobra was good when you were in your 20s in the army. But you, like I said, if you were Caucasian though, you had to lie and say you didn't like it, but you were still fucking drinking it. Okay, hell yeah, we drank it when it was around. We drank it. I liked it. I'd be doing Billy D. Williams impersonations, fucking drinking fucking Colt 45 and shit.
Did Tom think he was Lando Calrissian?
Fucking man, I wished I was Lando Calrissian, man. Fucking.
He was very cool. I get that.
Hell yeah,
I get that.
Billy D. Williams and fucking Carl Weathers and shit. Grew up with Carl Weathers. I was fucking wishing I was Carl Weathers, that big motherfucker. He was badass, man. Fucking, I saw Predator 1. That was it, man. I was a Carl Weathers fan after that. But no, man, fucking. We had all that shit in the army. It was a frat boy. It was a frat boy experience. We made frat boys are pussies compared to us, man. But
frat boys are just kind of pussies. Generally, gonna say.
Yeah, fucking.
Not a fan.
Airborne infantry barracks were fucking. They were spick and span, highly disciplined, but it was when we were off, it was fucking chaos. Absolute chaos.
Well, one thing like feeds into the other thing.
Yeah, absolute chaos.
Yeah.
And
John Smith said Lando can pull off wearing a cape. One of the very few men that can pull off doing
straight.
And still
remain straight. Yeah.
And no one like questions anything about it. He's got a cape on. No one's even like.
He's a man of great responsibility.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't occur to anybody to like question that fashion decision.
So honored to have you with us up here in the clouds. Fucking right, motherfucker.
Right? Mm-hmm. Michael Schaefer said Tom Rodriguez.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my God. That's what I'm going to start calling you now. Rodriguez. Holy shit.
St. Ives. I forgot all about St. Ives, man.
St. Ives.
You're fucking bringing it back. Ides or Ides? St. Ives.
Wait, is it Ides or Ives?
I thought it might have been Ives with a V. It's been a long time since I remember that one.
I don't know. It's like that old.
And we tried all that shit, man. It all came through the barracks. And we tried it all. And
but yeah, as soon as alcohol comes in, they're just like, let's try that out. Okay, that works.
It was good. Malt liquor was fucking good, especially for the price. And for shit that was cheap, malt liquor gave a lot of bang for the buck. The flavor was there. It was a little bit thicker. It was better than piss water beer. And you got to remember, it's competing within a certain price range.
Yeah, I mean, if you only have so much money,
right.
It's like you're trying to get the best drunk and the best taste.
Right, for the money.
For the money.
Yeah, I'd give
which
it to
is
malt
not
liquor.
much. Yeah, I'd agree with you on that score.
Yeah, and the cans were bigger.
Yeah. You got more and it tasted better.
Yeah. Right. Now, if you start moving up in price, all that stuff kind of goes into the background. But you got to be reasonable. If you're on a limited budget, you want the most bang for the buck, and in terms of flavor and fucking the drunk and the experience, fucking King Cobra, man, we liked King Cobra.
I don't think I've ever had King Cobra.
King Cobra
it
was thick. It had a good head on it, a lot of foam. It was.
Wait, what is it exactly?
It's malt liquor beer.
Oh, okay.
It was thick. It had a good head of foam on it. If you poured it, it was heavy, so it was filling. It had a rich, malty flavor, almost like a Weizen beer, and very alcoholic. It was real smooth. It didn't have a dry aftertaste to it. It was very much like a sweet German Weizen beer, but it was malt liquor. Probably totally artificial.
Probably
totally. But it was a good product. And it had a fucking impressive can. It was red and black with a damn fucking black cobra on it. And fucking... It was marketed towards teenagers, I think.
Well,
people in their early
obviously.
20s. This is a macho shit. You know what I mean? Fucking, yeah, King Cobra. You knew what they were doing?
that was what they drank if eating boy.
Yeah, that shit was fucking ghetto, man. It was good.
I don't think I've ever had it. I don't even remember ever seeing the can. I'm sure I've seen them, but it didn't really make an impression. Kaylin Higgins says, most women genuinely mean what they say when they cut into each other, and those jokes are never forgotten. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Honestly, I think, and this is a general statement, but I think women are better at psychological warfare than men are. And that's usually because of women tending to be more empathetic, so they know a lot more about their friends, and so they know exactly what to say to wound that person forever. So if you turn against a person that you used to be friends with, then man, you can say some shit that will stick with them for years, which is terrible, but that's just, I would argue that even though dudes are more physically violent generally, I think women are more psychologically mean, generally. I don't think that's true right across the board, but I think that's largely true. Michael Schaefer said, for a cheap drunk in college, we would go with Mad Dog 2020. Yeah, I think I brought that up on Wednesday show.
Okay.
$2.30 a bottle would fuck you up. Oh, right. Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
That is a 90s vintage King Cobra.
I recognize that now.
Oh, let me try to get some.
I never drank that. I've never drank
I don't know if you guys can see the color, but it's black and gold. Okay.
Badass GS750 said, Tom, don't forget to say hi to Sarah. She's at work. She loves you guys.
Well, hey, how you doing, Sarah? Here's the marketing campaign.
Look at the face.
For King Cobra, that's right. He's like, you got fucking African-American alpha.
Look at this going on.
With his beautiful fucking African-American chick.
Look at his expression.
Yeah,
well, you can't really see it.
It says, don't let the smooth taste fool you. Mm-hmm. That's right. It says, it's time to change from harsh malt liquor taste to cold malt liquor satisfaction and a smooth taste. King Cobra Premium Malt Liquor, a new breed of malt liquor from Anheuser-Busch.
His expression.
Yeah, look at his face.
His expression is cracking me up.
He's like, that's right, man.
He's just like,
fucking right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that's making me laugh.
Now they've kind of like King Cobra's upped its game now. Okay, here's what the new bottle looks like.
Wait, let me see that. Okay, that's nice too.
Yeah,
that's nice too.
So it's Anheuser-Busch product.
I don't know. I don't love it. That looks a little retro. but not in a way
Look
that...
at the Cobra, though, man. It looks like something on the side of a motorcycle.
I mean, okay.
And then there's the can.
Okay, the can is cool.
The can.
I like
6% alcohol by volume.
I'm a graphic designer, if you guys didn't know.
King Cobra.
I've been doing that shit for like 25 years now.
Makes you want to drink some of that.
We'll see. Then it's done its job.
It's done its job. Yeah, I'd like to try some of that.
It's done its job.
Been a long time. Here, look at that one. This is in a champagne bottle.
Okay,
King
now
Cobra Gold.
That I like. That's classic.
Fucking right,
Look
man.
at that. It's kind of minimalist, but I
Yeah.
like it. I like it.
Hell yeah.
I like it.
Hell yeah.
Like I said, I've been a graphic designer for like 25 years, so I'm very into people's the way they present their product. I'm really into package design. I'm not a big fan of minimalism, and I kind of feel like minimalism is kind of like the way that people are going nowadays, but sometimes it works though.
Okay, look. All right. Here's the fucking classic Colt 45 with Billy D. Williams. Okay. Shit, hold on. See? He was a spokesman for a long time.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I'm pouring this in the glass.
Yeah. And look, I remember that can. Remember that can?
Well, yeah, I remember that
Yeah.
one. I didn't drink it, but I remember that.
Hold on.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good can because it's
Yeah.
very bold. It's like the name
Yeah.
is big, and it's like there's good contrast. I'm into that.
Yeah, and then now, see, they're up in the game. Now, the high gravity. Colt 45 high gravity.
They're trying to go for like a slightly more
Classy.
upscale.
Classy.
Yeah, I see that.
See.
Black and gold.
That
that's
makes you
like
want
a
to
much
drink
more-
that. Makes you want to try that.
I kind of preferred the old design though. It was a lot more impactful. I feel.
I think
like.
the old design looked a little too sportsy for me. A little bit too
Maybe.
football.
Well, yeah.
This is more nightclub.
I get that. I get
more
that.
nightclub.
But I would argue that design
Yeah.
is a little generic because a lot of other liquor brands like have that kind of like black and gold kind of like branding.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like it doesn't stand out as much. You really have to kind of, I don't know, man. Like I said, I've been doing this like work like for a long time, so it's like really hard to like stand out in the market. You know what I'm saying?
Can't believe it's 91 out there.
My shit still
Yeah.
says 87, but it hasn't changed. It still says rain off and on, and I don't even think it's raining anymore, is it? I don't hear any rain. That doesn't mean it's not raining. Kalen says, I wish companies would bring back intricate artistic designs in their products instead of going for minimalism. Yeah, I kind of feel like minimalism has been the overriding aesthetic probably for the past, God, as long as I can remember, at least for the past decade, for as long as I can remember. But you do have kind of like outliers. It's not really because of the internet, because of the shit that's more diversified nowadays. I kind of feel like you don't see these overriding aesthetics like you used to see back in the old days. So yeah, there's like a big trend of like minimalism, but also there's like a lot of like little mini trends of like doing like really elaborate stuff, which I'm more into. I do like minimalism in some applications, but honestly, I don't know. Like as a graphic designer, I always kind of feel like minimalism, I know this is maybe, I don't know. I always just kind of feel like whenever I'm doing something and people want something minimal, I always kind of feel like I'm cheating because it's like, it feels like a lot less work to me. You know, I'm not saying that you have to make everything super elaborate, but I don't know.
Now,
I do like minimalism in some
Maniac's
applications.
he's getting bent out of shape. He says King Cobra tastes like motor oil and death. No, it does not. And he goes, it's like putting perfume on a pig. They're repackaging fucking King Cobra. He goes, I don't care how you package it, King Cobra shit is vile. Dude, that's not how I remember it.
I've never had. Well,
That's
yeah,
not how I
but
remember
I've
it.
never had it, so I can't say. You haven't had it in
yeah.
probably like
It's not how I remember it.
many years.
I wouldn't mind going buying another can of it and see what it tastes like.
I mean, I've known you since 2011
Yeah, I've never-
or earlier,
been
and
a
you
long-
haven't drunk it since
No.
I've known you, so that's been a long time.
No, last time I had that was been in the fucking 93,
So you might
94.
drink it now and be like, "Oh my
Yeah,
god,
I might not like it.
He's right. That is vile."
But it was a flavor of its time, all right, and it was competing against other products in its price range,
Which were probably all
They were all fucking terrible. All right. A lot of times I was already drunk when I started drinking. That's another thing.
So, yeah, so
That's
you're maybe not the best judge of the aesthetic qualities.
I'd like to try
of the taste of the shit.
It's Anheuser-Busch. At least Colt
I'm
45
I'll buy you one next time I'm out.
Right. It's from the modern makers.
You can drink it on the show and we'll see what you think about it.
It's the black edition. See what it is they know
that you have to get the fancy
African American. It is marketed towards the African American market. They were drinking malt liquor. All right. So, but the big company says, well, this is, black people like this. This is what we're going to give them. And I remember liking it. Okay. I thought it was better than regular piss water. But I haven't had it in a while. I want to go look at. Companies are smart, They do market research. They see who's buying, and then they market to the main buyer.
Well, yeah.
So that's what you do to maximize your selling potential. But I remember it being high quality and tasting good.
But it was a long time ago.
It's a long time ago.
And you were mostly drunk when you drank.
Mostly drunk when I started.
So maybe
I thought it was better than piss water, though. It was better than. I can tell you now. I can tell you right now. It's better than fucking Budweiser.
Well, I don't think anybody's going to argue with you about that because Budweiser is kind of terrible, also. Mm-hmm. I don't remember it being Budweiser being terrible. I just remember it being not tasting like much of anything.
Weak and dry tasting and just.
That's what I'm saying. I just remember it being just kind of like bleh.
Now I also remember higher grades of Budweiser and Miller being better than the low grade.
Well, and I kind of feel like lately they've kind of upped their game because they know that's the way the winds are blowing.
You can't do that anymore.
You can't just everybody's like into craft beers now. Right. It's like everybody's kind of a beer connoisseur now, so you can't like get away with that kind of crap anymore.
But has King Cobra and Colt 45 have they upped their game too? See,
I'd
like to fucking taste it now and see.
Like I said, I kind of feel like one of the things, and we've talked about this in regards to food, is that in a lot of ways, you can complain about certain restaurants or certain, prepared food that you buy in the grocery store or whatever, like tasting like ass, but back in the 70s and 80s when we grew up, a lot of that stuff tasted kind of like crap, and you didn't really have anything to compare it to.
I know what I'm going to do.
But nowadays, you do. So you can't really get away with it, which I think is kind of better.
Across the street from the biker bar, they got a little fucking country liquor store with beer. I bet you they got King Cobra and Colt 45.
Are you going to go?
I'm going to buy some.
Okay,
and we will taste that shit on a Friday.
On the next Sidetracks.
I will fucking taste it.
Okay, don't forget, though.
All right.
Don't forget.
We're going to do a taste test.
Oh, wait, I got a pen.
Write that shit down.
I'm going to write it. Give me some paper. Okay. I got paper over there somewhere. There we go. There. Yeah, that'll work.
We'll let you taste it, too.
Well, I didn't taste it before, so I'm not going to be
you're just going to give the impression now.
But we're going to, what's the shit called now?
Fucking, I don't know.
King Cobra.
Yeah, King Cobra and Colt 45. Cobra. I need a bottle. I need a
Colt 45.
Yeah. Malt liquor.
Okay.
We're gonna do that.
We'll do that next Friday. Don't forget, this will be super fun. This will be fun.
Get some Swiss.
Like I said, I don't know what the shit tasted like before, so I'm not going to be super helpful.
Get some Black and Milds. Get some Black and Milds. Hold on, let me go get some. Let me go get some more.
Mike says Budweiser is good for washing your car.
Yeah.
I mean, probably. I will never understand. Honestly, I will never understand why Budweiser became I don't know if it's so much this nowadays, but I kind of feel like back in the old days, Budweiser was ooh, the American beer or whatever. That was what all the kind of rednecky kind of dudes drank and stuff. And I was just kind of one, it's super weak and it doesn't really taste that good. But also, I don't know. It's just, I don't know why that became a cultural thing. It probably isn't anymore, but I kind of feel like it used to be. And I will never understand why that happened. I never understand. It's not good. It's not a good beer. Kaylon said, did most of those designers move their businesses to places like Etsy? Probably. I don't know. Like I said, there's so much out there that, like I said, I tend to do more elaborate kind of stuff when I design. When I have to do something minimalist, it's really stressful for me because it's not, my aesthetic, and it's like whenever I'm trying to do something really minimalist, like I said, I always feel like I'm kind of cheating because I'm kind of like, I feel like I'm not really doing anything that somebody else couldn't do, like on their own.
Go fill yours up, Tom.
But you know what I mean. Let's see. Tom should do a taste testing on the Sidetrack show. Yeah, we will. I wrote it down. If he goes and gets that stuff, I'll drink some of it. I'll give my honest opinion. And like I said, I don't have any dog in this fight. I have never drunk King Cobra or Colt 45, like either one of those ever in my life, as far as I can recall. So I can give an unbiased opinion about how they taste. So we'll see. I'm not picky, though, I should say. I'm not like a big connoisseur about it. Gramthars says, is there a plan B if the podcast thing doesn't pay the bills? Honestly, like I said, Tom's already got money. He's retired, so he gets a monthly check. Not a check, but, you know. So he gets that. I'm really the only one that has to rely on this stuff. It's not just the podcast. I do graphic design work. I have, shit for my books and stuff like that. So I don't know. I've thought about it. I've thought about, well, I guess I could maybe, like, I don't know. I might, like, pick up another gig, like driving for Instacart or something like that. But I do transcription also, but sometimes when I have time. Like, if I have a few hours available, like, I'll kind of, like, put up the transcription app and, you know, if I can transcribe some videos and stuff like that, make a few bucks here and there. So I do that as well because, you know, I mean, I can type fast and I'm really good at grammar. So I got in with that. So I do that as well. What's the most overrated horror movie of all time? Ooh. Overrated. That's a hard question. Most overrated. The thing about it is that I kind of feel like most horror movies that people have like a really high opinion of, I usually also have a high opinion of them. Like, I think they have earned that high opinion. Like, they're lauded for a reason. Oh, I got one. And this is fairly more recent. I didn't love Paranormal Activity. I know that a lot of people like were really into that. Oh my god, it's like one of the best found footage movies ever, and it was like a huge phenomenon and everything like that. And maybe that wasn't so much among horror fans. I don't know. Maybe that was like more people that weren't super into horror, that was just like more general. But I like Paranormal Activity, but the amount of buzz that it got, I think, was like way like out of proportion to how good the movie. It was a good movie, but I've seen like way better ones than that. So that's my answer. That's my answer. Gramthars asked, what's the most overrated horror movie of all time? I said it's hard for me to like say like the old ones, because I think those all like deserve their reputation. But one that I think is overrated is the first Paranormal Activity. I like that movie. I'm not saying that. But I think that it's overrated in the terms of... I don't think it's overrated in the terms of, like, the cultural impact that it had, because it obviously had a really big one as found footage film. But watching it, it's scary, but I've seen, like, way better and way scarier. So there's that. So I'm going to say Paranormal Activity. How is the best way to protect your home from EMPs in a nuclear war? That was the question. No. You don't. You just get used to like not having internet or power or anything like that.
Yeah, Tammy, I'm gonna do the taste test on the Sidetrack show.
And Tammy also said when he asked, "Is there a plan B if podcast things to pay the bills?" And I already answered that. Tammy said Tom's gonna sell his body.
The podcast doesn't pay the bills anyway.
I mean, like I said, and I told him, it's like, well, for you don't need anything to pay the bills because you already get...
I'm medically retired. I get 90% of my active duty pay.
He's medically retired from the military, so he doesn't need anything to pay the bills.
I get full medical and
he already pays the bills.
Yeah,
it's just my ass that has to like pay bills, because this is podcast. I do freelance graphic design and my books, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, I'm kind of working without a net. I don't really have anything. I don't have unemployment. I don't have anything like that.
No.
So
Jenny's main income really is from graphic designs. She still had graphic design clients and stuff, and then podcast and the show, as much work as she puts in it, that's side money. I mean,
that's probably my second biggest.
And
it depends on the month though, because sometimes
it does.
Some months, like graphic design, I don't get as much stuff.
Yeah.
Like I do a lot of freelance work, but sometimes, right. I only have like maybe 5 or 6 like really big clients, and sometimes they don't have anything that month.
If we do bad on ad revenues and super chats, yeah, we feel it. We feel it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, we feel it.
Big time. Because the thing about it is that...
But it's only like 1/4 of fucking what it costs to keep everything running, and it's 1/4 of fucking the total income.
I mean, because you're lucky because you have...
I'm a half of it.
I mean, you have like something... You have an X amount that comes in every month.
Yeah.
And I never know like how much I'm going to get from month to month. Because sometimes... If I get a lot of ad revenue, or if I get or if we get new patrons or something like that, like it'll be a lot. And sometimes I get a lot of graphic design work, or sometimes I'll sell more books than usual like that month. But I never know like how much money I'm going to get for a month. And to be honest, like other than all the household bills we have to pay, like the mortgage and the electric and everything like that, I have a shit ton more bills than you have, because I have a car and you don't.
Yeah, and her credit card.
So I have to pay. Yeah, I have to pay the car insurance. My car is paid for, but I have to pay for the car insurance.
Yeah.
And I also have to pay. I have like a shit ton of credit cards, so I always have to. I have 6 or 7 credit cards, so I always have to like pay at least the minimums on those. And so that's like a big thing. And I also pay for other shit, for, having to do with the podcast, like my websites and all that other kind of stuff. I have to pay for stock photo sites. I have to pay for graphic design kind of stuff. So a lot of like business expenses that I have to pay for as well.
Yeah, see, here's the deal. If the economy goes more south, which it probably will, and we really start fucking hurting for money, all I would do is just go to work for the fucking state of Florida. All right. Just because I'm medically retired doesn't mean that I can't work for the state. Matter of fact, I get preferential treatment. I can also work for the feds if I want to.
Like I said, I might have to go work at Dollar General or like work for Instacart or something.
So, because if you're medically retired and you have a disability, they'll find a job for you.
Yeah.
All right, they'll make up a job for you, and that could be another fucking $1,000 a month. But the thing is, I wouldn't be on the show. I'd be gone all the time. And if I wanted to, I could play the fucking VA system, which is say, look, I got anger management problems. And they go, well, we're going to send you to a damn anger management program that lasts a month. So they'll send you, they'll ship me out. It's kind of like they put you back on active duty. They ship you out and send you to some facility with a bunch of other veterans, and you fucking go to these anger management courses and then fucking drink all night, have a fucking party. Really, that's what it is. And then you come back and they fucking cut you a $3,000 check for being gone. But you're gone for a month. Yeah, so there's a bunch of games, but I don't play those games.
I mean, if you really needed the money,
yeah, it's kind of like milking the cow. You know what I mean? And I'm not. Yeah, it costs you a lot of time, and I'm just not that greedy. And they got dudes like me that spend their whole fucking careers and their whole lives lying to try to get some of that damn special program money. I could do it if I wanted to, but I just don't do it. I'd rather be at home and fucking just get my pay and fucking helping Jenny and doing the shows and fucking then going out to the clubs and stuff, and rather just minimize spending more than try to maximize income. I could do it,
because I mean,
but I feel like I'm fucking over the taxpayer because it's y'all's money.
That's the thing.
You know what I mean?
I think that's kind of why.
Yeah.
Even though at times in my past I've probably qualified for WIC or for welfare or something like that, I just never did it because I just felt bad.
It's not really in our nature to fucking put a hand out like that. Fucking.
I mean, I would if I absolutely
really needed it, but we don't really need it.
But I don't. I don't know. The thing about it is that I don't know. Because I grew up poor. So I'm kind of used to, it's not
going
fun.
Out, yeah.
It's not fun. Yeah. I'm not saying that. And you're constantly stressed out. But I'm kind of used to going from not even like month to month, but like day to day. It's like just today I'll get through this day. It's like if I can make X amount of dollars, you know, that's good. Like whatever it is that I'm doing. You know, and I ate today, so it's good. So it's just kind of like I try to like see things from that perspective.
Yeah. Another thing that I could do is just right up here at the corner, not even a quarter of a mile up the street, there's a nursery. A nursery that'll pay you by the piece. And they have mentally handicapped people in there moving fucking plants and loading trucks.
Yeah, they just pay people to come in and like.
If I wanted to, I could go up there.
You could just go up there and get paid like.
Yeah, go up there and pay you.
Which shit, I could probably do that too if I had to.
Yeah, it wouldn't pay the bills here, but it would make a difference on top of the other checks that I get and shit from the federal government. But what I would do is fucking. I thought about it recently, but because you can come and go as you please, you don't have to worry about hours. I go down there and fucking take my steroids and do my workouts over there, fucking moving trees.
Well, see, there you go.
And loading trucks.
It's just big. Right. It's literally right there. It's a massive nursery.
And I don't know how much they pay per piece, but I imagine fucking I could probably get a pretty good workout and probably make fucking $40 in a fucking 4 or 5 hours. maybe $100 in fucking 8 hours or something. I don't fucking know. I don't know what they pay, but it'd be probably get a workout.
Yeah.
And it's not like you're under a contract. If you didn't like it, you didn't have to go back.
I mean, like I said, in some ways, and I was thinking about this earlier today. I mean, I spent a lot of my life, like I said, I went to college for graphic design. I worked as a graphic designer in many, many large companies for, years and years. In some ways, that's better because you have, like, a place to go every day and you have, like, benefits and you have all this, you know how much you're going to get every month. So there's that. But I was honestly I'm just not the kind of person that likes, I don't like being told like what to do on a particular day or what time I got to show up or anything like that. I've just never been that kind of person. So I always had trouble like keeping regular jobs. I've kept regular jobs for a very, very long time, but I don't like it. I don't like being told what to do. I don't like, it's like, oh, you have to show up here at 8 a.m. every day. I don't like that crap. It's like, look, it's like, if I get the shit done, what does it matter if I do it at 8 a.m. or if I do it at like 3 p.m.?
That's why I was talking about that fucking nursery.
It doesn't really matter. Like, right.
Because that nursery doesn't have bosses. You just come in, do whatever piece of work.
That's what I'm saying.
Whenever you want to.
But I don't know what they're paying. I will say, though, that working the way I work, which is having basically like 3 separate gigs that are not dependent on anything. Like I said, I don't have anything. I don't have any insurance. I don't have any kind of retirement. I don't have anything. So it's kind of like working without a net, and I don't really know how much I'm going to make from month to month because some months are good, some months not so much. So it kind of goes, so I'm like constantly stressed out, but I don't know if I'd want to go back though. I don't really like stuff being really structured. I like structure, but I like the structure to be structure that I made.
She got her own studio, her own office here. She runs this shit.
I want my own schedule.
Yeah, she does.
I don't like a schedule imposed on me from outside.
Yeah.
I have a schedule. It's like I get up very, very early. I get up at like 6, 7 in the morning. I come in here. I work for like 3 or 4 hours. Then I do my 20 miles on my bike, and I do all that kind of stuff.
You're doing 20 now?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, 20 miles every day.
Damn.
20 miles and weights.
How long does it take for 20 miles?
About 45 minutes.
That's not that bad.
About 45 minutes. 45, 47 minutes, something like that.
You feeling better? Getting stronger?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
But so I do that. So, yeah. So I get up really early, sometimes when it's still dark, come in, feed Pookie, make a cup of coffee, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to work for like 3 or 4 hours. I usually like catch up on whatever I have to do, edit videos I have to edit, like any of that kind of stuff. Then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do bike for 45 minutes. Then I go take a shower, put makeup on. I film any videos that I have to film that day. And because, you guys know I do a lot of them. So I'll do that, and then usually we'll have lunch. So I do all of that like before lunchtime. And it's tiring, but it's my own schedule. Like, that's me imposing that. That's not somebody else imposing it. I don't really like somebody else's schedule imposed on me, but I will absolutely put a draconian schedule on myself because it's just me doing that.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? I just don't like it imposed from outside. I feel like I get a lot more work done when someone else isn't telling me what to do, when I'm just telling me what to do. Because I kind of have this weird thing where, I don't know. This is just me, but it's just... And this is kind of why is it that Jenny now has 3 fucking channels going? Because I'm not happy with just one thing. It's not enough. I have to have... I'm like, well, I have like other time. I could do this and that and the other thing. I have a million ideas. I have to do this and that and the other. And it's like, then I just pile things on top of myself. And then I stress myself out. But then I have to, like, back up and say, well, you did that to yourself, though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know how I do.
Yeah.
He knows how I do. You've known me for a long time.
Yeah. I tell her to stop doing it, but she does what she wants to do.
Well, in a way, it's stressful, but you have to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, Grandpa's talking about his shit. What he's doing, he's on that rowing machine all the time. I'm telling you, Grandpa's, we're the same age, get on HRT. Your progress will fucking accelerate a lot. The body will respond a lot better. Get on HRT.
Jeffy Art said, I also got creative ADHD.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, this is really weird because for a long time when I was younger, I always I was like, oh man, I have all these ideas for books and stuff like that, but I was always, I don't know if I'd necessarily call it lazy, but I never got it done. It wasn't laziness. It was, I didn't want, like, I was like, well, I don't want to write anything down because it's not going to be good when I write it down. And so it's not good enough, so I'm not going to bother. You know what I mean? So it's not necessarily laziness. It was more like insecurity. But once I got past that hurdle, like in the late 1990s, and started just like writing books, saying like, fuck it, and just like writing books. And then I started writing all kind of stuff. But then it kind of switched into another mode where now I'm like, every minute that I'm not producing something, that I'm wasting time. And I know that's probably like pretty unhealthy, but I don't really want to go back from it because I've done so much thinking like that. So I don't really want to go back to the thing where it's like, oh, you know, don't worry about it, or, you know, oh, don't write stuff down because it's not good enough. I just want to like produce as much as I can produce, whatever it is. And I want to make it as good as I can make it. But I don't know. So now I feel like every time that I'm not doing something, whether it's like working on a book or working on a video or something like that, if I'm not doing something like that during the day, then I'm like wasting time. You know what I mean? I know that's bad probably because I'm probably like stressing myself out, but I don't know. I don't want to be any different way because I wouldn't get anything done. Is that bad? That's bad, right?
Yeah, camp guy's saying I can't lose weight no matter how much you exercise. That's because of your fucking hormonal fucking situation.
I mean, honestly, like exercise and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I exercise. Like, I do 20 miles a day, but I also eat almost nothing. I hate it.
Yeah, but that's a different situation though. You eat almost nothing because we were overeating for a while.
Well, I kept telling
you. It didn't have to be that way. It's because I was kind of fucking. I overeat, but I take a lot of steroids. I can't overeat. I can't feed her that much though. Her metabolism isn't running that fast.
Yeah. Okay. And I know we drink, but
we drink too. But that's a lot of. When you drink, it's a lot of dead calories.
That's what. Yeah.
If you have.
That's what Camp Guy said. Hormones plus alcohol consumption.
Yeah. If you have the normal metabolism of an older person, you'll get fucking fat.
Oh yeah.
Okay. If you're on hormone replacement therapy like I am and you're injecting testosterone, I have the fucking testosterone of 2 or 3 18-year-old boys. It doesn't matter if I drink or not. I'm going to burn that shit up. I'm hot. I radiate heat all the time. Fucking my metabolism runs harder than a teenager. So I can eat anything. I'm losing weight. I can drink and lose weight. I'm losing fat, gaining muscle. But I work out too. Jenny's also on HRT, but the dosages on women are fucking tiny. Okay, it's like a drop a week of testosterone, 20 milligrams. Sometimes she does little maintenance cycles of Winstrol, okay, which is 5 milligrams a day for a couple months. That also is a slimming effect. You gotta watch it. If you go too long on that shit, you can have fucking permanent changes. But most changes in women are fucking temporary. Usually kind
He's
of
trying to make me
gravelly voice.
Do you know? Well, I already don't like the voice deepening.
Yeah,
did I tell you the other night? The other night.
Yeah, I think it's sexy. It's some Kim Carnes action. You know what I mean?
It's my phone sex.
Remember fucking Kim Carnes? It's just.
I had a dream the other night that I grew a mustache.
You're worried about it too much.
Isn't that funny?
You're not getting enough.
I thought I told you, but I guess I didn't. Yeah, like a couple nights ago, I dreamed that I had a mustache and I was trying to like shave it off, and everybody was like looking at me, and I'm like, I'm trying to shave off a mustache. Do you mind?
Yeah. Okay. Fucking no. There are younger women out there that fucking do not have mustaches. They have rough voices, like Bakar Nabiva, who has a fantastic fucking figure. She's like a little fucking female human leopard. She's in her fucking late 20s. She takes a fucking shit ton of that stuff. But she is still female, okay? It takes a lot to do what you're talking about. But, you know.
I know. I mean,
it takes
I don't.
A lot, okay?
It still, honestly, it still weirds me out, like, hearing my voice.
Yeah.
My voice doesn't sound like
well,
it used
you weren't
to sound.
real hormonal to begin with in some of that stuff. You had pretty high levels of estrogen, but that helps retain body weight. See?
Yeah,
You know
no shit.
about?
Tell me about it.
So we changed all that manually.
But the thing about it.
Let me explain something to people. When a male passes andropause and when a female passes menopause, when you get to a certain age, everything is off the table. The hormones are gone. If you want to go back to an earlier age, and when it comes to diet, metabolism, and the way you look and everything.
Don't you dare bring my fucking period back. Don't you dare.
No, I won't do that. It won't do that.
Don't you dare.
It won't do that.
Because he said earlier, it's
There
like,
is
oh,
some
your
stuff
period back. I'm like,
yeah.
Absolutely not.
You can do that.
No.
You can do that. It is good for you every now and then to bring that back.
Absolutely not.
But,
absolutely not. That was like the worst.
I'm not going to fucking force her anything she didn't want to do.
You know, I have a very, very high pain tolerance.
Yeah.
Always have my whole entire life. The only thing that fucked me up was my fucking period.
Yeah.
I do not want that back.
Right.
Absolutely not. That was like the fucking worst. I don't want that back.
The human performance drug, the natural human performance drug is testosterone. Men and women both produce it. Men produce it at 10 times the rate females do. Whatever a male takes, a woman takes 1/10 of that. Okay. In general. This is not medical advice. Okay. I'm not telling anybody to take anything. This is all a fucking disclaimer. Okay?
Don't sue us.
I don't know. You can't sue us. Okay? After you pass adrenopause, when I hit adrenopause, man, it fucking hit me like a ton of bricks, man. I could really tell a difference. And a friend of mine...
It affected you a lot more than menopause affected me.
Yeah, and it's because...
Menopause for me, and I'm not, like, discounting, like, women that have really bad menopause, because I know some women that did, but mine was just kind of like...
I felt like I was going to die.
Mine felt just kind of like a shitty inconvenience.
I felt like
I was like, my periods was way worse than this, so...
I felt like I was...
a couple hot flashes.
Not only did I feel like I was going to die, I felt like I wanted to die.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember. I never felt that bad.
Boy, it felt bad.
I never felt that bad.
Veterans are fucking very susceptible. So are pro athletes. If you live, if a guy had a good, solid puberty and then ends up living a life that's very fucking high energy, an exciting life, you're kind of addicted to higher levels of endorphins and fucking androgens. When andropause hits you, it's a huge fucking decline, and you feel suicidal. That's what happened to Elvis, and I think drugs had a lot to do with it. Elvis caused him to hit, and Elvis's drug use caused him to hit andropause early. He felt something was wrong, so he just started taking more and more drugs, which made it worse, and he was getting older. So that's what happened to him.
Well, the thing about it too is that generation also,
they didn't know anything.
One, they didn't know anything, and two, it's just kind of like they put so much of their identity, I guess, into their job and their kind of their youth and all this other kind of stuff. So when they moved into a different phase of life, they had a hard time.
They couldn't make the
dealing with it. They couldn't like adapt to it.
Well, they didn't know the biology and the science behind what was happening.
That's what I'm saying.
In Elvis's time, they had the ability to fucking give him tests. He started, but they would have thought it was unnatural. They're thinking of the time where like, hey, your teeth fell out already. Don't put false teeth in there. Hey, you're bald. Don't put on a wig.
That's what I'm saying.
That was the thinking of the time.
That would be natural for me to look like a fucking old lady right now.
Yeah. Be natural. So, but no
thanks.
when the androgens are gone, it's time for you to die. No, man, fucking put the androgens back in there. You can live to be a fucking 100. I got fucking videos of dudes in their fucking 70s. They look just like me. I mean, they look like me. Look like they're in their 50s. That Chinese guy looks like me. He's 73. It's because his teeth fell out. He put teeth back in. Just it happened to be testosterone. Okay, but you got to catch it before you get too old. 40s, 50s, around that time. Before damage has been done, because some damage is irreversible. So the fucking hormonal starvation has a lot to do with aging. Genetics also plays a part, but genetics plays a part in how fucking bad, how good your puberty was, and how bad your fucking menopause or andropause was too. It's also genetic. When you lose your hormones, inject hormones. If you can't afford them, you're fucked. But you say, I can't afford to do that. But you can afford to drink in the bar, can't you?
Well, I don't know, can they?
Yeah, so a lot of
poor people are kind of fucked always.
$200 a month.
That's a lot of money.
Or you can go underground, fucking, and get it fucking underground for about $100 a month.
I can't afford to.
But the thing is they got dudes that'll spend more at the bar than that $100 a month.
I don't, but
and then if you're really fucking slick, you know how to use VPNs and fucking cryptocurrency. You can get the shit to make what you need for about even half that, about $50 a month, maybe $25. And if you sell it to other people, I ain't gonna give any.
Yeah, don't go there.
I don't want to give any. I ain't gonna go there. Okay, but there are ways to fucking make the money that you need, or to trade for what you need, you know. But no, testosterone. You just have to know the dosage, you know how it works. And I'm not just making this up. You can go on YouTube and you'll see women's clinics that are encouraging women that go through menopause to inject testosterone, 20 milligrams a month. That is the cookie cutter. Testosterone, anthenate or cypionate. That also too, that'll work. You'll feel a lot better and you won't put on so much weight because your metabolism will be working normally. There's some other things you can put in there to help speed it up a little bit, or to help you. And if you're working out, it's even fucking better. If it's aerobics, you'll trim down and get kind of cut. If it's anaerobics, in other words, lifting weights, you'll get bigger, more massive. But you have to have a higher protein diet to do that. Very simple. There's no secret to it. These dudes like The Rock and Jason Statham and fucking all these dudes who got old and look fantastic, that's all fucking testosterone and anabolic steroids, which are modified testosterone. That is also testosterone, just kind of a different version of it. It's not quite the same, but similar, doing the same thing. Cheater testosterone.
Jeffy Art says, Jenny would rock a handlebar mustache.
Yeah, she
I'd
would.
be happy to offer tips.
In
the dream, I grew a mustache. It wasn't even in the middle. It was just like on the sides, but it was long. And I was just like, holy shit, I gotta like shave the shit off. And it's just kind of like, you know how when you're sleeping and you have to pee in your sleep and you dream that you're looking for a bathroom and then like you can't find one that's acceptable? Okay, so I had that kind of situation where I had the dream that I had this mustache and I had to like shave it off, but I couldn't find a place like that was private to shave it off because I didn't want anybody seeing it. And you were kind of like, you were in the dream too, and you were just kind of like, I can't remember exactly what.
Nobody noticed.
Yeah, that sounds like them.
Yeah,
I don't know if you did. I think I was trying to hide from you as well because like I didn't really want you to see because I thought you'd get mad at me because I had a mustache. So I was trying to shave it off, like being on the down low, and I couldn't like do it, but it wasn't in the middle. I remember that. Like in the middle there wasn't, but it was just like really long, like on the sides. I remember that. Like a Fu Manchu mustache.
Camp guy, just research hormone replacement therapy or HRT, and there's HRT clinics near you. You're probably, in general, it's about $700 buy-in with all your blood tests and everything like that for that first month, and then that includes the hormones that you need. Then after that, it usually tends to be about somewhere between $100 and $200 a month after that. And they got other shit that they'll give you like HCG or Clomid and things to keep you from shooting live rounds, if you know what I'm saying. There's a bunch of different ways that you can do it. You can go black market too. There are a lot of good black market sources of stuff if you have VPNs and fucking crypto, which will save you some money because anybody can make testosterone. That's an easy fucking molecule to make.
Jeffy Art says, I also got creative ADHD. Yeah, it's, and said, yeah, you always wanted to be perfect the first time out. I think that was a problem that it took me an alarmingly long time to overcome.
Yeah.
Because, what?
I want to correct myself. There is no such thing as a testosterone molecule. Testosterone is a compound. Okay, go ahead.
Anyway, what I was saying was that it took me a very long time to realize because I think this was a product of me coming up in the gifted program, which actually was a good thing. But because I was taken out of regular school and put into the gifted program in 3rd or 4th grade, like back in the late 70s, early 80s, everything was easy for me, so I kind of felt like everything from then on in life was going to be easy for me. So like when other things came along that were difficult, I didn't really know how to deal with it. So that was one thing. I'm not like shitting on gifted programs back then because I think they were good, but I think that kind of like stymied me a little bit. It took me an embarrassingly long time to realize that one of the things that you could do was you could write something and then correct it later. Because one of the things that I used to pride myself on when I was actually all through my teens and into college was that I was very good at writing like extemporaneous essays. Like I was really good at like coming up with really well written like stuff just off the cuff. I didn't really have to like research stuff or anything. Like I would just come up with this really good stuff and didn't have to correct anything. So I got used to doing that, and so I didn't really realize that you could write something and then later come back and fix it. It took me a really long time to like figure out that I could actually do that. Everything had to be like really good from the get-go. And I think that the crazy thing about this is that if you guys have read Stephen King's On Writing, which is actually one of the best, if you're a writer of any kind, please read that. It's an amazing fucking resource. He does a lot of there's a lot of biographical stuff in there, but that's all like really helpful too. But it's very, very, honestly, that kind of like reading that like blew my mind, because I was just kind of like, holy shit, I can actually write something that's not that good and that I can go back later and fix it. I know that's dumb, but for a long time that never occurred to me because I'd never had to do that before. Everything just came naturally. Okay. So, oh.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Never mind.
I thought you were done. Okay, Sebastian asked me, how many milligrams of testosterone should a man have a month? I train with weights and cardio. Up to now, I don't feel I have a problem with it. Okay, that first of all, I'm not a doctor. I can only tell you what other people say. I can't give medical advice. Not legally. Okay. A lot of it has to do with how old you are. Okay. and what it is that you want. There's a difference between replacement and benefit. And then the straight up steroid cycle. Okay. A man can take, in general, the cookie cutter thing here in Florida, what they'll do is give a man 200 milligrams of testosterone cypionate a week. Okay. You can inject it as many times as you want. You can half that up into 2 injections a week, or you can break it up into 7 injections and do it every day, or 1 injection a week. It's got a long half-life on it. So 200 a week gives benefit and replacement. You move that up to 500. Okay, well, hold on. Let me explain. That 200, if you're in your 30s or 40s, you can live on 200 a month. Or excuse me, 200 a week for the rest of your life without a fucking real risk of anything other than being shut down. But in terms of, that's safe and you get something out of it. When you start pushing 500 a week, that's a steroid cycle. If you're young, probably wouldn't want to maintain that for very long. 3 months at a time, and then rest, and then 3 months on, 3 months off, and everything like that. If you're old, 500 a week, you could run that. Wouldn't affect your lifespan negatively. It might actually expand your lifespan, depending on when you started. If you started in your 50s, you could run a high level for a long period of time, and it might actually, you'd be like that Chinese guy, like a 73, and look like you're 50. But they're doing this later in life, and they did not abuse these things early in life. That's the key. Everything is, you must study the men that went before you. But in general, here in Florida, they'll give you 200 milligrams a week. And it's replacement, and you'll see some benefit. You can run on that forever. Yeah. Would I do that at 20? No. You're too young. You got a long haul ahead of you. Would I do that at 50? Fucking right. Hell yes. I'd do it at 40. Had I known, I'd have gone on in my late 30s. Yeah. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Oh, and I'll do as much as 600. I've done 600 before. 2 or 3 months back to back, it felt fucking great. Rebuild shit, you feel fucking great. But you got to back off of it. You really don't want to run those levels for long periods of time. That's what steroids are for. Steroids is less load on you. It's more complicated. All right. I'm going to let Jenny talk.
Camp Guy said, I've got bad teeth.
Yeah.
I have about 18 crowns.
Yeah.
Holy crap. So they look good. Just got 2 crowns mounted this week. Okay. Honestly, genetically, I was fairly lucky in the sense that I got like pretty okay teeth. My siblings all didn't get that, but I never had to have braces. I have I think I have 1 or 2 fillings. One of my teeth in the very back did actually like break and fall out like recently, but other than that, like my teeth have actually like held up pretty well.
I got good teeth too. I had to get all my wisdom teeth removed, but I'm only missing 1 tooth, one back here.
And I never got my wisdom tooth out.
Oh, I had mine removed.
They're still there.
Only missing 1 tooth, and I broke it. I would bit down on a damn.
That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah. Mine, it was a whole clove.
You know, a whole clove? Okay.
I
bit on a cinnamon stick. I was
broke.
getting it to a horse. I fucking put a cinnamon stick on it and bit it. I used to do it all the time. Bite a cinnamon stick in half and give one to a fucking horse, and they'd eat it. You know, when I was feeding the horses, give the other half to another horse. I got a thick cinnamon stick one day, bit it, and cracked my fucking tooth.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
Like I said, on a whole clove.
Yeah.
And it broke, and like, for a long time I had like, and it's in the very back, but it's like I had that half for a long time, and then finally the other half just fell out. But the other teeth are like pretty good. I don't really have like, I haven't had problems with cavities or anything like that. So I got lucky in that regard, at least genetically, that I haven't really had. Like I said, and I didn't ever have to have braces or anything like that. And I mean, like I said, my siblings were not so lucky because other of them had to have like a lot of stuff done with their teeth, but I never really did. Not that I could afford to go to the dentist anyway, because I can't. But you know what I mean? No pain, nothing like that. So it's all good. It's all good. Camp Guy said I get good dental insurance. Well, it's a good thing. I don't have any insurance of any kind. So if I got sick, I would be hosed. I'm not all that worried about it because, I don't know. Like I said, I grew up like pretty poor. So we didn't go to the doctor unless we were absolutely dying. I mean, unless something was really, really wrong. I mean, okay, for an example, like other night, like when did we do the review of Jaws 4? Okay, so the night that we watched Jaws 4, we were watching that, I was having like a really, really bad stomach problems. Like my stomach was just like cramping, like really, really bad. Like I don't even know what the fuck was going on with that. And Tom kept saying, do you want me to take you to the emergency room? I was like, bitch, no, because I can't afford for you to take me to the emergency room. America. So I didn't really want him to take me to the hospital because I can't pay for it and I don't have any insurance. I don't have anything like that. So I don't know if that was just like a product of me growing up in a family where, I mean, my parents like had insurance sometimes, but a lot of the times I felt bad about costing them money. So unless, like I said, unless I was really dying, I wouldn't. I think the only time when I was growing up that they actually had to take me to the hospital was when I fell off some steps in my grandmother's house, and I thought I had broken my ankle because when I fell, it made a really, really loud popping sound. Now, it didn't hurt, but it made this really loud sound, and I was like, oh, that's not good that sound was made. And I was just kind of like, and then I was going to like just deal with it because that's what I was used to doing. I said, I'm just going to wrap that up in an ace bandage. It'll be fine. But then like the next day, I was just a teenager. But then the next day, I was changing the ace bandage and my mom looked at my ankle and it was like this big and it was purple. And she was like, that's broken. We're taking you to the hospital. So they took me to the hospital. Now, it wasn't broken, but they still put a cast on it. And that was pretty much, I think that was the only time that my parents ever had to take me to the hospital. And I didn't even actually want to go to the hospital. They just made me go because they're like, we're pretty sure that's broken and you need to deal with it. But I will say, they put a cast on my leg, even though it wasn't broke. They said this is a terrible sprain, but it's not horribly broken, but we should still put a cast on it. We lived in a townhouse at the time that had stairs and stuff, and I was like sliding down the stairs on my butt. And after about a week of sliding down the stairs on my butt and having to like walk around on like crutches and stuff, I was like, fuck this shit. And I cut the cast off myself with a knife because I was tired of that bullshit. I was like, whatever, it'll heal or it won't. I'm really not worried about it at this point. So I just cut the cast off my leg. Because that's how I do. You know? It worked out okay. Happily. It wasn't really broken, so. But that's kind of how I do.
Pookie, no. Stop tearing up the
What are you doing?
library. And then she's
I told
definitely
you.
looking for attention. You are definitely looking for attention.
That's why my whole aesthetic of that bookshelf.
Yeah.
Because I have a bookshelf right here.
She's got a bookshelf right there.
There's a bookshelf right here.
Filled with fucking books.
All of the books.
On the
and that's not even all my books. Actually, all my books are on those two really big bookshelves over there. This is the little bookshelf. But all the books that are on the bottom, I was like, well, those are just the old ones that I got at like thrift stores and stuff. And if she tears up the spines,
she goes over there and does this with them.
Because she likes to tear the paper up. She likes paper. So she'll go in there and like tear all the paper. So there's like all little, there's little paper bits.
Yeah.
Where she tears it up.
What time is it? It's 8:28.
Yeah, you're good. Hugo says, one of my first jobs was modeling sculpting teeth on a dental lab. I was 14 years old. I mean, I don't remember the last time I've been to the dentist, man. Like I said, I haven't had dental insurance in like forever.
We're going to shut it down in about a half hour.
You think?
Yeah, you want some to eat? Because, I'm not going to let the show go on to 3 hours.
Okay, I'm having a good time though, aren't you?
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
It's just that, I was saying, we're going to get something to eat, going to cook, and I don't want the show to go on for fucking 3.5 something hours. We'll do it at 3, and we'll let it hit 3, and that's it. So that's about a half hour. So, is there any topics that you guys wanted to cover? Is there anything fucking that you guys wanted to talk about? Maybe about the haunting fucking shows. I mean, fucking, I'm enjoying the new hauntings. We gave you 2 hauntings this week.
I'm having a good time with those. I'm glad that we decided to bring that back.
Well,
I'm having a good time with
somebody suggested that, and we thought about it. We're like, yeah, we should bring the haunting back.
It's like, man, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of feel like a lot of the people that are still like with us nowadays, after all this time,
after all these years,
kind of came on board because of those. So, and those are like actually really fun to do. They're not,
we like watching the programs.
We like watching them. It's not like all, and I'm not saying that like doing the research, it's not like completely stressful.
Some
but
of these movies are a chore to watch.
It depends on what the movie is. It depends.
Yeah.
A lot of times, and to be honest,
the Michael Crichton movie was a chore the other time. I was like, ugh.
Well, here's the thing. The matinees are easier because that's usually something I just let you pick that because it's like, look, if I pick it and it's bad, then he's gonna bitch. So it's like I don't want to hear that. No. So, but when we do the movie retrospectives, I usually have to come up because the patrons vote on those. So I usually have to come up. I was like, okay, well, I have to come up with like 5 options that I feel like maybe you would watch without complaining too much. So, and that's getting harder and harder to do, like as most of the good movies have been we've already covered.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, Coma, it's like, 1978, it was Michael Crichton. You like other Michael Crichton movies. It's like, you know what I mean? So it was that. Now, I liked it. You didn't love it. Now, I did fall asleep a couple times while we were watching it, but I was like super, super tired.
Yeah.
Just
Michael Crichton's hit and miss. He's always entertaining to a certain extent, but it's a retro entertaining. You know what I mean? It's just like, I know what they were thinking. I remember what we were thinking back then. You know what I mean? It's that kind of an entertaining.
But that's what I mean. I like a lot of 70s movies for that reason.
Yeah, but I remember the way we used to think. Yeah.
So it's always, like I said, so it's always hard for me to pick. Because I go through, here's what I do. Here's my process. When I go, because I have to do the poll, and I usually pick like 5 movies.
Yeah.
For whatever the poll is for Patreon, for the movie retrospective. So I'm like, well, this has to be something that Tom will watch without complaining too much. Mm-hmm. It has to be something that's available on one of our streaming services for free, because I don't necessarily want to pay for it. So it usually has to be on Amazon Prime or Shudder or HBO Max or Hulu or something that we already pay for. So I usually I will scrub through all of those and look for something. So then I try to find 5. And then I'll see what everybody voted for. It's like, and I do kind of feel like, and I got a comment the other day that maybe we should do more really old, classic, 50s and 60s stuff. And I was kind of like, maybe, and somebody said we should do more Universal monster movies. And I was just kind of
I wanted to do fucking Fu Manchu.
I kind of feel like maybe we should, because we haven't really done a lot of Universal monster movies, or even a lot of shit from the 50s and 60s that actually I would really like to do. And we haven't got around to this. So I kind of like that we did some 50s sci-fi.
Yeah.
That was cool. So maybe we should do more of that, because I kind of feel like we've got more requests for doing more of that kind of stuff.
So far, the best 50s sci-fi, and I've said this before, was War of the Worlds and Them. And they were both kind of similar movies, although I wished Them was in color. I think Them would have been even better in color.
Well, they tried.
And one of the things that was good about Them is that the dudes, and it's a dude-driven movie. It's cops and soldiers. They got a hottie in there, and she's a scientist, and her dad. That's cool too.
Well, that kind of happened a lot in
happened a lot, yeah.
Those movies of that era.
And then the men were impressed. Oh man, not only is she hot, She's a scientist. You know,
Wow, she actually has brains
she's
and
got
boobies.
brains. Yeah, but that's a great.
We can't deal with it.
Well,
it's
that's
too many things.
No, it was a good message. It was a good message. They portrayed her as being, and her dad treated her as a professional and shit. It was a very good message.
I actually did like that about it. That her dad actually like treated her as like a person, which I was like, wow, this is like kind of this is very progressive for like a movie of that era.
Well, no, and then the He-Men in the movie, the He-Men, that's what I'm gonna call them. No, they were positive. They responded positive, like, yeah, she's hot and she's smart. Yes, indeed.
He's like, oh, I like that.
So you know what I mean? It's not like
that's nice.
So it was a good message.
All the smart bitches like that.
Yeah, like them smart. Man,
we like that.
She's smart.
We like
yes,
that.
Indeed. And then, but what I really liked about it being a veteran and everything is that how good those dudes were with guns. Fighting them damn ants.
Well, because they were all
real soldiers.
Yeah,
so
they brought them on as extras.
Yeah. So they were doing some real close combat with the giant ants and the Thompson submachine guns and shit. And they had real military guys in there with the fucking vehicles, fucking firing rifle grenades and shit, fucking off the M1 Grands and carbines and Thompson submachine guns. So it was authentic. It was the original version of Aliens. And the Colonial Marines, that's what they're doing. They're going down there to go fight the aliens, big fucking insectoid aliens. It's very similar to them. You know they watched that fucking old what's his name who directed that shit fucking saw them and fucking goes, yeah, it's gonna be like them. There was a lot of.
I mean, that's an iconic.
It's an iconic movie.
Period.
Sure. Yeah, so Aliens may have been a copy of them in a certain way. There was
Alien and Aliens took a lot of cues from a lot of other movies from that time period. Not just them. I mean, that's
Cameron,
that's kind of like a big one from that time period.
Yeah.
But you know what I'm saying.
James Cameron. I know James Cameron saw them because there's a lot of shit from Aliens.
Everybody saw them.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, I kind of feel like them is the quintessential 50s big bug monster movie. I mean, you kind of, if you're at all into like horror or sci-fi or something like that, you kind of have to see that one. It's like it's a building block of a lot of the stuff that came later on.
But them had the best small arms fighting, close in fighting, blocking of any movie. The way any 50s movie, it looked like small arms combat. It was shot like an action movie, proto-action movie. But that's where action came from, if you ask me. That's the first time I saw a fucking realistically depicted close combat between fucking Marine with a Thompson submachine gun and a whole bunch of giant ants. And it was like convincing. I was like, okay, yeah, that's it. And you're only going to get that look from that dude if he's already comfortable with that weapon. That was a dude that was comfortable with weapons doing that. It was World War II veterans. So,
well, yeah, that's why they brought all these dudes on for that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you look all the people that they brought on,
they were all comfortable with weapons and good with them. So and you buy it when you see the movie.
Sebastian says The Invaders with Roy Finnes. I still want to see that because if you guys don't know, I just reviewed. It came out on Thursday. But I reviewed the Norliss tapes, which many of you had requested. That was a 70s TV movie. And Roy Finnes was in that. And, that was kind of his big thing was The Invaders. And I still want to, kind of get into that. But we'll see how that goes, going forward. Now, somebody said This Island Earth was pretty good. Retro
I remember
film.
that.
I saw This Island Earth
with the fucking brain fucking alien
on
right?
Mystery Science Theater.
Yeah.
I saw that.
We got to write that one down. We got to see it. I've never seen it.
You've never seen This Island Earth?
Seen pictures of the alien, but I've never seen the movie.
Mystery Science Theater, the movie, did This Island Earth.
Well, we can watch that.
Now, it was a cut version.
We can watch that, but I can still review the movie based on that, probably.
I mean, it's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous, but it's fun ridiculous.
Hugo says that them may be colorized. I wish it was.
There is a colorized version.
Is it?
Somebody colorized it.
It was originally going to be color.
It was supposed to be.
And those ants were all painted. Evidently, they looked better when they were painted.
They did. They were all purple and green and shit.
Yeah.
But when they shot it, they're like, yeah, it'll look too good, so, you know. There was that. There was something else that I needed to comment on. Where was it? Jenny and Tom, you may like the history of Chingle Hall, which is in Preston, England. My first vigil case was Steve Mara. Oh, there you go.
You worked with Steve
been
Mara?
5 times. A really nice place with activity. Oh, okay. I'm gonna write that down.
She worked with Steve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sebastian did.
Sebastian did? Okay.
Chingle Hall. I'm gonna write that down. Yeah. Man.
Yeah, Steve's a good guy, man. I like Steve. I fucking spend many hours talking to Steve when
We
we were
like
writing
Steve.
books
He's,
together.
he's a cool
Good
guy.
dude.
Yeah, I've written a couple.
Good parapsychologist.
A
He
couple
impressed me.
books with him.
Super, super knowledgeable. I haven't talked to him in a while though. I got to fucking touch bases with Steve, see what he's up to. Is Steve's book selling at all lately?
A little
Every
bit.
now and then?
A little bit.
Okay.
I mean, it's been a while.
It's not what it was.
It's been out for a while.
Yeah.
So that's
Once books have
kinda-
been out for a while, sometimes they start petering off.
That's what I mean.
All right.
Camp Guy said, Night of the Hunter. Honestly, I've been wanting to do Night of the Hunter for a really long time.
Yeah.
That is a classic from the 1950s. I've seen it, but I don't think you've seen it.
Ooh.
But yeah, it's really, really good. Robert Mitchum, yeah, it's really good.
So we don't owe Steve any money then?
No, not
Okay,
that I
good.
know
Making
of.
sure. Making
Not
sure.
that I know.
Okay. So he's getting paid. He's getting paid.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Michael Schaefer says, Jenny, have you reviewed the original King Kong? We haven't reviewed it. I've seen it many times.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
But-
We can do it.
Like I said, I kind of feel like maybe.
Everybody's done that though, huh?
Yeah, but we've gotten so many requests to do like classic horror.
Oh, well, if we're gonna
Maybe
do,
we
if we're
should.
gonna do fucking Kong, we're also gonna do Mighty Joe Young.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
It's like
probably a lot
if
of
we're
people
gonna
know
open
about
up,
Mighty Joe
and I
Young.
want to do like all the classic like Universal monster movies. I want to do all the Frankenstein movies. I want to do kind of like I want to do all that stuff.
Okay, well then we'll do it. We can do it.
I'm just saying.
We can do it. We can do fucking Bela Lugosi movies.
Man, there's like so many movies we gotta do.
They never really could get Lugosi to be able to be Dracula again. I think there's only 2 Dracula movies in there.
Well, he didn't.
After that, he had to be another vampire that was like Dracula, because I think it was copyrighted or something, wasn't it?
Well, no. I mean, the
okay.
thing about it was that, well, no, the problem arose when Nosferatu came out
Okay.
because they were trying to make a Dracula adaptation, and Bram Stoker's widow was like, "Oh no, that's some copyrighted material." So, like I said, they changed all the names and stuff. Now, the first Dracula movie was actually based on the stage play,
Yeah.
which is not
The same as the
similar, but it's not. Yeah, it's based on the stage play and not so much on the novel. So it's structured a little bit differently. And then I kind of feel like people that piss and moan about like sequels and blah 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 like nowadays, back in the 30s, they were doing all that shit, all that shit, all of the like Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, all that kind of stuff. They had a million sequels and offshoots, and it's like, you know, fuck it, the Wolfman meets like Abbott and Costello. They had nobody go to like comedy, and it's like they had all that kind of stuff, and they had like a million sequels and all that kind of stuff, and most of them were like not really that good. But I don't know, I kind of feel like maybe we should, and I feel like too we shouldn't just do the Universal monster movies. I kind of feel like they were not so much the 40s, because the 40s was a little bit lax in horror, although Cat People was good, like Val Lewton was doing some good shit. So in the 40s, but in the 50s, you had some good, like, fucking... people have asked me to do Night of the Demon, which I think was 1957, if I'm not mistaken. So I've been wanting to do that for a long time. So we maybe should do some, like, classic horror, because I kind of feel like...
Write up a schedule and we'll do it.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll watch all that.
I mean...
Make up a schedule.
I love that shit. I love that shit.
Put it on a schedule.
I love that shit.
Put it on a schedule.
Jeffy Art
I
said...
still want to see Fu Manchu though. That's in that. Yeah,
Wait, which one?
The one that had fucking Karloff in it. When it's hard to
Oh,
find.
okay. That's old.
Yeah, it's a real old Karloff.
Because that was a whole
Universal
series, and then, like, I saw the ones that had Christopher Lee in them.
Karloff, Fu Manchu. I haven't
Yeah.
seen it, and fucking they said that it's a great movie, but for some reason Hollywood doesn't want to show it nowadays because you got Karloff. He's doing, I guess, Yellowface, but he's an actor.
But the thing about it is
Fucking
that,
kinda dude.
well, I don't know if that's so much that, because I've seen
Doctor
other...
Who had that back in the fucking 70s.
and I've seen other movies where he
Yeah.
was doing that are
Yeah.
more available. So it's not so much that. I think
I want to see the original Fu Manchu. It's supposed to be good.
Wait, where did I see? Okay, Night of the Hunter, King Kong, Beast from 20,000 Fathoms. We should
Yeah, I
probably do
remember
that
that
one
one.
too, because that's Ray Harryhausen.
I remember.
And
that
I
was the big
love Ray Harryhausen. I mean, I first got into Ray Harryhausen when I was
did all the fucking Sinbad movies.
When I was 9, because I saw Clash of the Titans.
Yeah, the Sinbad movies were great. We did them.
We did, yeah, we did.
We did them all, didn't we? It had Carolyn Monroe in it.
We did a couple of them at least.
It was a gift to Britain. Carolyn Monroe.
Everybody loves Carolyn.
Man, I was a little kid. Fucking Kimmy took me to see the fucking. I think it was the third fucking Sinbad movie. And Carolyn Monroe was in it. Her fucking midriff and her fucking boobs and shit. That girl was so fucking. I'm like fucking 7. And I know a hot chick. When I see one, I'm gonna go, God, I'd hit that so bad.
Everybody loves
I'd
Carolyn
hit that so bad. Fucking yeah. I'd hit the shit out of that. Okay, I was fucking crazy as a little kid. Not really crazy, but I'm saying, I was fucking crazy about that ass. Damn, Carolyn Monroe.
Hugo said...
We also saw Carolyn Monroe in the damn Journey to the Center of the Earth fucking thing where they took...
Like I said, she was in a ton of shit.
Yeah.
And she was in that shitty one with...
Star Crash. She was in Star Crash, yeah. She was in a bunch of shit.
Which is a terrible movie.
Terrible. I was a teenager by that time. I still recognized her.
Entertaining for all that.
I still recognized her by that time. I was just like that hot ass Carolyn Monroe. Yeah.
It's entertaining. Yeah. But it's terrible, but it's entertaining.
Yeah.
Hugo said, would you consider a biography show of a classic actor like Bela Lugosi or Boris Karloff, etc.? Honestly, we probably should, because I think, didn't we do a show about Christopher Lee and Peter Cushing?
Yeah, we did. Pretty sure we did. Yeah.
So probably, I kind of feel like if we did Christopher Lee, we should do Karloff and Lugosi. And look,
they didn't get along.
I don't know if it was as bad.
It was fucking play
as
hate.
It was, portrayed.
I think it was play hate. No, I think.
Yeah, I get it. But if you like Boris Karloff, tomorrow on my Scarce Lawn channel, I have, for whatever reason, I decided to go on this journey where I was gonna watch the entire series of Thriller, which came out, it was 1960 and 1962. Boris Karloff hosted it. It was like an anthology program, much like Alfred Hitchcock Presents.
Yeah.
Before I realized that it was actually 67 fucking episodes.
Of what?
Over 2 seasons.
67 episodes? What
67 episodes.
Of what?
Of Thriller.
Thriller?
So I was just kind of like, okay, well, I'm going to break this down into 6 episode chunks. That's what I'm going to do. So tomorrow, I'm going to put up a video where I reviewed the first 6 episodes of Boris Karloff, the show Boris Karloff hosted, which was called Thriller, which was on NBC back in 1960. So I'm going to put that up tomorrow. So if you're into Boris Karloff, look at it. Like I said, Boris Karloff is only the host of it, so he's only on there for 5 seconds. But you know what I mean. I had been wanting to watch it for a long time, and I figured, hey, what better time? They have it on Roku, so I watched it. At least the first 6 episodes. So yeah, so we should probably do a Boris Karloff. And honestly, Shudder, if you have Shudder, they have a documentary about Boris Karloff. I think it's called The Man Behind the Monster.
Yeah.
And it's really good. Watch it.
I'm pretty sure, though, based on everything that I've been able to pick up over the years between Karloff and Lugosi, that Lugosi was jealous of Karloff. Lugosi was a bitch. He had player hate. Crazy. I would probably prefer Lugosi when it comes to a fucking vampire type character. But Karloff, I've seen Karloff in a lot of shit. I thought he was cool. He's good.
I like both of them, to be fair, but if you put a gun to my head and I had to pick, I'm going to pick Karloff. Sorry.
There's rumors that Karloff was kind of dumb. I don't know if it's true.
But see, I don't know who said that, because I don't see that.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I've seen some other shit that he was in, because Boris Karloff, that, like I said, that wasn't his real name, obviously, but he was in a lot of stuff. And he never came across like that to me. So I don't really know, like, where... I think that was, like, some people being...
What was a trip about
bitchy.
Karloff is that it wasn't known, I don't think, to the general public, but even back in those days. Karloff was biracial. Karloff was...
Yeah.
His dad was from India.
Yep.
And he was part of the British Empire, but he comes off as being very Anglo and fucking... But he was part Indian. You know, they're filming him in black and white. You know what I mean? He had Anglo features, but he was a little bit darker colored, and he was, you know... fucking Indian, which you wouldn't think that with a name like Karloff. You would think Russian or some shit.
But
like
that's
that.
not his real name.
No, it's not. It's a stage
His real name was William Pratt.
Yeah, they did all that shit back then. They used stage names and everything.
Of course, that's what I mean.
And he really got famous playing in his early roles as playing
Frankenstein's monster.
Well, ethnic characters as kind of like bit parts first.
Yeah.
But he was a great actor, and in fact, people liked him. He rose to fucking prominence and greatness. Fucking, you know.
Well, I told you that was kind of why I wanted to, like, on my Scare Salon channel, I was just kind of like, bitch, I've been hearing about this thriller show, like, forever. Because, like, look, I'm into, like, Twilight Zone. I'm into Outer Limits. I'm into Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I love all that stuff. But I heard Stephen King back in the day in Dance Macabre, like his old book from like 1980 or 1981, he was always talking about Thriller with Boris Karloff. And I was like, man, I never saw that because I was too young to see it. So I see Roku has it, most of it, and I was like, man, I'm going to watch that shit. I'm going to like put it on the show. So I started watching it, and that shit's good. Now, Boris Karloff, he's only like the host. He's kind of like the, you know how on Night Gallery... you had fucking, what's his name? Like Rod Serling. Like, he was just introducing the shit. It was like that. But, I don't know, man. The shit was still good. I love horror anthologies, and I love Boris Karloff. So, I think that's going to be, like, I'm going to watch that. Sorry.
I think we did it already. We covered the Black Cat, didn't we? Pretty sure we did.
Wait, I don't know if we did the Black Cat. We did, what was the one... No, it was the one with...
If we haven't done the Black Cat, we got to do the Black Cat.
We haven't done the Black Cat.
Okay, we make sure in the back catalog. Because if you ask me, Karloff's best work was on a movie called The Black Cat. It was Boris Karloff, Bela Lugosi.
Oh, wait, maybe we did.
Back in the 30s. And Karloff plays a character named fucking Shalmar Perelzig is his name. Who was a fucking military officer, who was a Satanist, and sacrificed his own...
we did do that.
He was a military colonel, I think is what he was. Sacrificed his unit on a certain plot of land. Sacrificed them to the enemy as a sacrifice to Satan. And they all got wiped out. So after the war, he could come back and buy that piece of land. And he made his fucking satanic temple on it, which is a high tech for the 20s or 30s, when like 30s fucking mansion with fucking sliding doors and an intercom and everything, and he's got all these damn European satanic elites showing up where they're fucking doing fucking sexual rites and sacrifices, and it's just the most bizarre movie from the 30s. He's got all his dead ex-wives and girlfriends.
Yeah,
and
we did do that.
Yeah,
we did.
And their daughters fucking stored in glass coffins down underneath the fucking battlements.
Just keep them in.
You're right, yeah.
Keep them in storage.
Right, which is kind of like they're hinting at necrophilia, that he's keeping them as sex dolls. It's fucking, for the 30s, badass, and that's what started all this down.
Well, that was pre-Hays Code.
That started the Hays Code, from what I understand. It was movies like that. They were like, no, we can't have this. Because they started to go...
It's like you're implying that he's fucking corpses.
Yeah. It's called The Black Cat. It's a classy,
we talked about that a little while.
Art Deco style horror movie.
My favorite thing about...
got a lot of dark elements in it.
My favorite thing about... Okay, my two favorite things about the movie. One, the art design.
Yeah.
I love the set design on that. Yeah. Amazing.
The costumes.
The costumes are good too.
Sexy fucking
I love
and shit.
Boris Karloff was the biggest bitch in that, and I am here for it. He was like his smirking. Oh my god, I was so into it. I love Boris Karloff.
Yeah, and fucking oh shit. Oh man, fucking Bella plays a character that was one of fucking
Bella's great in that too.
Yeah, he's great in it too.
Yeah, he's great in it too.
He plays one of Herr Pelzig's fucking men who got captured during that big sacrifice. Right. And he spent, what is it, 8 years or 9 years?
It's been a while, but yeah.
He spent it in a place called the Kulgal, which is like basically a concentration camp. And they finally let him out. And he goes back to track down his own old fucking commander and take vengeance on him because he knew that he had sacrificed the unit to consecrate this ground in this satanic ritual.
I mean, the whole like interaction between the two of them.
And he's looking for his wife.
So good. It's so good.
And fucking, he was looking for his wife. His commander stole his wife. He finds out that the wife is dead, and that he's got possession of his daughter.
Like keeping
he's keeping his daughter as a fucking sex slave. And she's walking around in this beautiful sheer robes and shit, and it's all 30s. You can see she's nude underneath it. It's fucking, it's sexy, you know what I mean? But she's like his satanic bride. And fucking the ghost, he comes back to kill his ex-commander in his fucking thing, but they got to do it a gentlemanly way. They're playing fucking chess behind it and talking about it. I will kill you and all that kind of.
It's like some Ingmar Bergman
shit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's real good. It's real good. You can't just kill a motherfucker out of nowhere. You have to talk it up and fucking make a challenge and explain why you're doing this, and you gotta play chess.
Well, you gotta have like parameters. You can't. It's very like crass.
Yeah.
To just come in and just shoot a motherfucker in the face.
Right, and fucking.
You gotta have like some fucking.
His name was the character of fucking Bella's character's name. His name is Vitus Veldegast, and fucking he's got this bodyguard he hired who's this big ass fucking Mongolian fucking bodyguard. And he's showing up with his bodyguard to fucking get his revenge. But it turns out when they show up to fucking Herr Pelzig's fucking mansion, for some reason, your servants become his servants. There's some European rules that go back to the honky motherland.
I was not like real clear on that.
It's some kind of honky motherland rule where if you show up with your servants become the servants of the Lord until they fucking specific time. It's kind of complicated, but it's just a classy flick. And some American characters are watching this. And they're just simpletons. A pretty girl and a handsome guy, and they're tripping out over what these crazy Europeans are doing. It's just, you know what I mean?
We're just Americans.
Why are these Europeans doing this?
We're kind of stupid.
We're stupid. We've gone back to the honky motherland, and they're doing this. We don't really understand this. So
they always kind of do it.
They represent you as the observer.
I mean...
Yeah.
I advocate that though.
Yeah.
I like that whole like, hey, we're the stupid people that are like watching this stuff going on.
Yeah.
That kind of cracks me up.
Yeah, but now I recommend The Black Cat. It's a fantastic.
Tammy said if anybody's gonna kill anybody, be a gentleman about it.
Yeah, exactly. Right? That's exactly what they're doing. I
like that. I like.
I give
that.
a huge shout out to The Black Cat. That's the best Boris Karloff Bela Lugosi movie I've seen. It just,
like I said, they were in a lot. I mean, they were in a lot together.
And this is before the Hays Code, so there's no ratings. They didn't know anything about ratings. I mean,
it's still like pretty tame by today's standards.
But they were pushing it was the undertone.
Back then, yeah, the implications that they were making
of what they were talking about.
Yeah,
he fucking murdered dude's wife.
Well, and they imply too that
he implied that he's having sex with a dead body.
Right. And they imply later on that like the guy he gets skinned alive.
Well, they straight up tell you that's what happened.
I mean, they don't show it,
but
like
they show
it's in
shadows,
silhouette.
In silhouette,
but it's
he's pulling his skin off. Yeah. So it's a great flick, but it is in an older format. The only thing I didn't like about it is that the score didn't quite match what was going on. It was like a stock score. I don't
actually remember the score.
The score was like stock music that they would play here and there.
Oh, okay.
But the story is tight. And the edit's tight. It's not that long.
That's a great film.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit over an hour.
Well, the thing about it is like a lot of the movies back then were only like an hour and 15 minutes. People piss and moan like nowadays when a movie is like an hour and a half, but holy crap. Like back then they were like... What, 70 minutes?
Yeah.
Tops. Well, because back in the old days, you'd go to the theater and you'd see a double feature, and then there'd be shorts and stuff like that. So a lot of the movies back then were only like an hour, 15 minutes long. Slash Fred said, one of these Wednesdays, you should do a show on John Hughes. That might be an interesting show. Because me, growing up in the 80s, I was really into John Hughes movies. I understand that, like, a lot of his stuff is, like, problematic nowadays. But, I mean, that was, like, a big part of our, I don't know. That was kind of a big part of the zeitgeist when we were growing up, I feel like, in the 80s. Pretty in Pink, Breakfast Club, you know. I mean, Weird Science. I kind of feel like those were, like, the big ones, but...
Somebody's asking if I carry a knife. Never carry a knife, ever. If you carry anything, you carry a gun. You carry legally. At least in the American system. Carry legally, carry a gun. If not, don't carry anything.
Honestly, I don't carry anything because
I don't carry nothing.
I hardly ever leave the house.
Yeah, we don't carry. I don't carry anything. But if you do carry something, carry a gun, carry it legally. Understand the laws in your state. Understand what kind of state you're in. Some states really, on the books, say they have self-defense, but they won't allow you to defend yourself. If anything goes down, they're gonna blame you. If you're in a state like that, don't carry anything or move. You know, you got all these states you can move to. Move to a state that fits your personality. And if you can move, that means you can move away from trouble spots. If you gotta carry,
I mean,
yeah, if you gotta carry,
can't really afford
if you have to carry a gun, then you're in the wrong place. Okay.
I would not like to feel like I had to carry something around all the time. Honestly, I really don't feel the need to leave the house much. Like I said, I work at home. When I go out, I will go to Dollar General or, Publix. We go out to the club a few times, but that's about it. So we don't really go anywhere where it feels like we're in any particular danger.
The reason why I say don't carry a knife, because if somebody attacks you and you pull a knife, he now has the right to pull a gun on you and shoot you under most American state laws, because you pulled a knife on him. Okay? So might as well just jump straight to the gun. Fucking somebody attacks you, you can pull a gun, and if they continue to attack, you shoot that person. You defend yourself if you feel your life's in danger. If there are no witnesses and everything, you go ahead and make a diddy mount. There's no reason to engage with the criminal justice system here, because the chances of you getting a fair shake are fucking minimal. Okay? Only go before the court if you're arrested, if you understand my drift. Okay.
Hugo says, Boris Karloff, Tales of Terror, 1962, is an anthology. As far as I remember it is, but it's been a while since I've seen it. I'm very, very into horror anthologies. Not just like horror anthology movies, but I also like horror anthology TV shows. I was a big fan of Alfred Hitchcock Presents, Alfred Hitchcock Hour, Twilight Zone. I loved all that shit. Like I said, I didn't see that stuff when it first aired because I'm not that fucking old. I'm old, but I'm not that fucking old. So, but I was into that. Like, as soon as I saw it on, syndication, I was like, this is for me. It's like short story. Because I was always really into, like, horror short stories and stuff. So, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I like this. So, I've always been really into horror anthologies. I think that was the reason that, I got the idea to do the thriller thing on Scare Salon. I said, this is one of my Everests, I guess. Because, like, look, I've seen Twilight Zone. I've seen Outer Limits. I've seen Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I've seen Alfred Hitchcock Hour. I've seen all of that stuff. But I kept hearing Stephen King. I didn't keep hearing it. But, in Dance Macabre, he was talking about Thriller and how good it was. And I was like, bitch, like, Boris Karloff is hosting it. And I love Boris Karloff. So it's like, I never saw that, though. I never saw that back in the day. It wasn't on in syndication, and I kind of feel like everyone forgot about it. So I was like, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna watch that whole fucking series someday. So I decided to do it for the channel. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take the plunge and I'm going to start doing it. So I, like, literally over the past 3 or 4 days, I watched, like, the first, like I said, it's on Roku. I don't know if, like, all 2 seasons are on there, but I found that the first season, at least, is on Roku, and I watched it for free.
Danny Rolling goes and says, well, a ballistic knife works the same as a gun, just saying. And I said, no, you're not, you're tripping. Ballistic knife works nothing like a gun. You can stab a person 70 times and they'll be screaming the whole time and they'll live afterwards. No, stabbing somebody's nothing compared to a gun. Sorry. You shoot somebody with a 9mm, even 380 up close, depending on what kind of round it is and where the shot placement was, you'll down that fucker instantly. Not with a knife. You can stab somebody fucking repeatedly and they'll just complain about it. Take a long, long time to die. You can't kill me with a knife. I'm gonna punish you. Okay? You come at me with a knife, you've already lost. But, you know, I'm a trained combatant.
Don't tempt anyone.
Yeah.
Don't tempt anybody. No one's immortal. You're just meat.
Well, no.
You're just
You
meat.
might kill me. You might kill me.
You're just meat.
But you'll end up dying before I will.
You're just meat. Everyone's meat.
Yeah. It takes a lot longer to die from blood loss than blunt force trauma.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Suffocation
like,
and fucking bullet wounds.
Can we talk about just for a little bit here? Because this is something that's always kind of bothered me from horror movies in particular. Some motherfucker in a horror movie gets stabbed by some tiny little kitchen knife.
Yeah, they're dead instantly.
And they just like fall over dead. I'm like, that's not how that would happen.
No.
That probably wouldn't even kill you.
No.
Actually, that probably wouldn't even be unconscious. You'd be like, hey, can you like take this out? Like, yeah, this hurts and shit.
I got a friend that was stabbed 4 times in a bar fight. He was stabbed.
Well, many people have been stabbed many more times than that and have survived and been totally fine.
He got stabbed 4 times during a bar fight in a time frame of about 10 seconds, and it was all to the fucking upper body. And he didn't even go to the hospital.
I mean, you're fine. You're fine.
He didn't even go to the hospital. He says, "Oh, they're closed wounds. I'll be okay. If you're not dead in 5 minutes, then you're not losing any damn blood."
Yeah, it
was a 4 or 5 inch blade. He was sore as shit.
Sure, it's not fun.
Yeah, but he didn't even go to the fucking.
You'll live.
Didn't even go to the cops behind it because
unless they actually like get a fucking major artery. Then you're in trouble. But other than that, you're fine. You're probably fine.
He didn't go to the cops. He didn't go to the cops because he was in the bad behind it.
Sure.
He started it.
That's what I'm saying, and I kind of feel like I kind of wish. And I mean, I feel like this has been addressed in movies nowadays because people are like really picky about realism and stuff. But I've seen some stuff. I'm a big fan of like stuff from the 70s and whatnot. And I think people back then didn't realize that if you just stabbed some motherfucker like once in the back or like in some random location, that you stab them and then like they'd fall over and they were dead. I'm like, that's not how that would happen. That person would still be alive and they'd probably still be fine.
In the state of Mississippi, during primitive weapon season for hunting, it was required by state law that you had to use poison pods if you're using a bow. You know, recurve or fucking compound bow, it doesn't matter. And it's because even with broadheads, which has a bunch of razor blades on them, there were too many deer that were living. You shoot the deer, it goes right through both ends of them. Bam! Sounds like they got hit with a damn baseball bat. And they run off. Never to be found because they don't die. You didn't hit anything. And it went right through them. You didn't hit anything vital. So they put poison pods. They said you had to have poison pods. It was a requirement in Mississippi. That way, any hit resulted in death. Because you didn't want these fucking suffering deer. Some of them died, but died from infection later.
Right.
Okay. So any hit was death. And you know, when it came to bow, it's the same thing. If I were to fucking hit a man with fucking recurve or compound bow, even with broadheads, chances are the arrow just goes right through you, and it's kind of surgical, you know.
I mean, depending on where it hits,
it closes right back up.
I mean, it would hurt.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, and it might get infected, which might fuck you over, but...
Friend of ours, a pretty fucking sexy...
Would it kill you?
Friend of ours,
Maybe not.
named Aurora, is this sexy chick who has fucking... Got 2 kids, blonde, and she will have fucking spikes shoved through the meat of her back. They're about fucking 9mm in diameter, and they'll suspend her from the ceiling, and she'll swing around all night and make money that way. She'll also have it stuck through her fucking... And it's because it misses all those arteries.
Yeah,
Stabbing somebody's nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And these are fucking bigger. The spikes that she gets stuck through her are bigger in diameter, or about the same diameter as an arrow shaft. I got it on video if you don't believe me.
Like I said, it depends on where that happens.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a really little knife, but you happen to hit at a really crucial area, then the person will die and they'll bleed out like pretty quick.
Yeah.
But most places that you stab in the human body, you can live like quite a long time.
Yep.
Like you will probably survive. So that's kind of why. And honestly, the thing about it is that not just stabbing, but some people have been shot in the midsection, in the head even, and they have also survived and been completely fine. It just depends on where the shit lands.
That's the girl I'm talking about.
Depends on where it lands.
That's the girl I'm talking about. That's Jenny standing on the other side of her. Okay? I'm going to show you another video. There's Jenny right there.
I was Bride of Frankenstein that night.
All right. And that's her. Okay? Let me show you another video of her. Okay? This is about an hour later. Okay? She's got 2 spikes stuck through her back, and she's fucking pulling on them. They're about as big around as arrow shafts. See them? Go through the meat and everything.
Like I said, as long as you're not penetrating any major organs, then you're probably fine. That's the thing. That's kind of like what bothers me about a lot of...
She's swinging from those things on her back. And everybody watching. Okay? Look at that. That's through those fucking spikes stuck through her back.
That's what I'm saying, but in a lot of movies, they will show somebody getting stabbed one time in some non-crucial area, and then they fall over and they die immediately, and I'm like, that's not... If you are going to stab somebody to death, that's maybe a lot more than you want to take on, because it takes a lot.
Yeah.
Unless you stab somebody right in the fucking heart or right in the fucking brain.
Yeah.
That takes a while. It takes a while.
And being shot's not quite the same. It's a lot more energy.
Like I said, well,
and a lot of times it's a fucking hollow point bullet, which is breaking apart. And
the thing about being shot too is like a lot of people have been shot and they have also survived. It just depends on where
it is.
What's the caliber? Where were they shot?
The bullet trajectory, what it went through.
Sure.
A lot of times, anything near the central nervous system or the head, heart, major arteries, lungs. Lungs can fill up with blood. But if you're using things like fucking hollow point pistol bullets, they'll kind of break apart and more internal bleeding happens, which take you down in just a few seconds.
The thing about it is that
some guys, I got videos of it, be sat there shot 14, 15 times by police with fucking 9mm pistols, and they're still sitting there with a knife in their hand, struggling, trying to fucking get at the cops like that, because it's kind of like assisted suicide by police is what they're doing. I don't understand it. Or drugs, I don't know. But
that's what I'm saying. If you don't get any vital organs, then it's going to take a while, which, depending on what your end game is, that's going to be good for you or bad for you. I'm just saying that...
No, it's not going into fat. Fat would tear right out. It's going through the muscle. She's suspended through muscle. Because that shit will go right through the top, her upper thigh muscles.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And honestly, most places that you hit in the human body is not going to kill you.
Yes.
I mean, it's not going to be fun. I'm not saying that. It's probably going to hurt a lot, but it's probably not going to kill you. So that's why I'm always kind of like bothered by stuff in horror movies where somebody gets... I'm not like arguing with people just get like shot and they fall over. That's fine. That's fine. It's probably not what really happened, but yeah, that's fine. But you get stabbed with like a kitchen knife or some shit like that, like in the back, and then you fall over and you're dead. Yeah, that's not how that happens. Honestly, like if people get, and people do get stabbed to death like all the time, but usually those people are stabbed multiple times. Like usually people will just stab and stab and stab, and you know, I write about true crime, I know, so it's just kind of like, I don't know, so you have to stab and stab and stab to kill that person. So it's a messy situation. It's a messy situation. That's what, yeah. Victor says definitely going through fat. The skin is what's keeping it from ripping out. Yeah. Tammy says, or the old cowboy and Indian movies where they get shot with one arrow and they fall over dead. And I kind of feel like they still do that. I don't know. They don't do that as much nowadays, but I kind of feel like they still do it. I don't know. They still kind of do that, where it's just kind of like, hey, we stabbed a person or we hit them with an arrow or whatever the fuck. And then they fell over and then they're like not fighting with us anymore. But yeah, in reality, that's not what would happen. That's not what would happen. Man,
Which time do we have? Okay, we actually went over.
We are at 3 hours.
Okay, Victor says it's definitely going through fat. The skin is It's not though, because if you look at her ex-husband Jacob, he was a Colombian performer. That motherfucker had no fat. He was maybe fucking 5% body fat. It went through his muscle, and he was a pretty well-known Colombian performer. I'll show him to you. But no, it's not going through fat. She didn't have any fat.
Like I said, there's a lot of places in the human body that are not... I mean, as long as you're not penetrating any necessary organs, then...
Yeah, I mean, I penetrate muscle all the time and I give injections.
You're okay.
It's just... You know, it's just... it's about as big around as a fucking arrow shaft, which is about 7, 8, 9 millimeters, around that. That's not that big. Okay. This is her ex-husband. All right? And he does that shit for a living on fucking television all the fucking time. And he doesn't have fat. That motherfucker is almost just pure muscle. Okay? That's Jacob.
Jacob Angel.
We've had him over to the house. He's cool dude. He's been on a bunch of...
Well, he did my...
he did that tattoo. Trying to see... that must be his new girlfriend.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool dude. Yeah.
I like Jacob.
He was a sniper in the U.S. in the Colombian Army. He's actually an ex-military guy. His brother, his older brother, was in the Colombian Civil War and got accused of making a fucking like a war crime. His unit killed a couple hundred people during a big fucking shooting that they had. No one was ever convicted. It was just... Oh, okay, so that's his new girlfriend.
Oh, okay.
Some of it may be through. Like, it does look like that might be through viscous. But no, I think that's muscle. That's going through muscle there.
Probably, but...
Look at it through the thigh.
I mean, the thing about it, though, is that if you did that to me...
Yeah.
I probably would not feel it.
Yeah. That's what Jacob looks like without his makeup on.
He's a really nice dude.
Yeah, real nice guy.
He's a really nice dude.
Colombia is beautiful. There's a lot of really cool architecture there.
He went back there, yes?
Yeah, he's back.
Okay.
After they broke up. Now, he's gained a little bit of weight, but when we knew him and he was doing all that, he was at least fucking 5 pound, 10 pound. I mean, he was just skin and bones. But he's being suspended right there.
Yeah, I don't know. I always liked Jacob. He was a really nice dude. He was just a really nice person.
He was fun. He was fun.
He's a nice person.
He didn't quite fit into America. He couldn't find a freaky enough job here. But in Colombia,
well, the weird thing was
Colombia, he can.
In a lot of ways, like he came here, like we were kind of like, yeah, okay. Yeah. And I thought he was like really nice. Like I said, he came to our house like one night. He did my tattoo because he was a tattoo artist. And so he stayed at our house for many. Yeah. How long did it take to do that?
I don't know. I just found another video.
8 hours.
I saw another photograph of that girl, and some of it did look like it was going through fat and skin, but other parts of it was fucking meat. Some of that was meat. I think it probably depends on where the connection points are going to be and how much you weigh. So it's going to be like anything else. They're going to make strategic decisions, I think. But
yeah, I mean, obviously you can't. But there's a lot of parts of the human body that you can kind of like fuck with and
not really worry about it.
And don't worry about it like too much.
Native American Indians were fucking suspending themselves from their chest muscles, fucking during fucking spirit walks and shit, going way back, just sticking fucking huge bones through their sharpened bone. So yeah, it's gonna probably be a mixture of meat and fucking.
Like I said, as long as you're not penetrating any vital organs, and you're not penetrating anything that causes you to bleed to death, then you're probably okay. Don't do it. I'm just saying that it's probably okay. It's probably okay.
Yeah, talking about the old cowboy in Indian movies, they hit one arrow and shut up. No, it never happened
That's
that
what
way.
I was saying.
It never happened that way. They get hit with an arrow and they try to pull that arrow out and cause more damage and leave the arrowhead in there, and they keep getting hit by several of them. They'd be hit many times before they fucking died usually. And
like a little arrow, like in some, especially if it wasn't in a vital organ.
It caused problems though.
It would be painful. But
they'd get a bunch of them and it would weaken them, and then later on during the attack, fucking there'd be an assault phase where the Indians fucking ended up on your objective, and then they beat you to death with a war club or a fucking tomahawk or the back end of a fucking rifle. They used a mixture of stuff.
Sebastian says, I would not like to be stabbed in the heart though. Well, I kind of feel like nobody would be. Nobody would want to be stabbed in the heart. Yeah, right?
Yeah. It's almost time for us to shut it off though.
3.5 hours.
Yeah, it's 3.5 hours. We gotta make something to eat, right?
What you gonna make?
Late.
What you gonna make?
Let me go down there and see what's available. I know I got carnitas.
Ooh, that was good.
Do you just want more of that?
Sure.
Okay, I'll come up with something.
All right.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So we will be back Sunday evening talking about a movie, probably. We don't know which one. But thank you for dropping by this evening.
You're not too drunk, are you? You're losing.
What?
It's like you're forgetting what you're doing. You slowed down. Or did I slow down? Never mind.
Probably.
Okay.
Hey.
It sounded like you lost track of what you were doing. No?
I didn't, but now you're making me question myself.
I gotta go. I'll see you guys later, man. I'm gonna start making something to eat.
Okay. He's gonna make some food. Thank you this evening for dropping by and hanging out with us this Friday evening. This is always fun. I love Friday evenings. I really do. So we will be back Sunday evening, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll probably be talking about a movie. I don't know which one. We haven't watched it. But that'll be the next thing. But thank you for coming by and hanging out with us. We will see you again on Sunday evening. And thank you for coming by for the Sidetracks. We will see you on Sunday. And good